Hi, everybody. Hi. I think this is working now. This is cool. All right. Let's go. All right. What's up, y'all? This is your girl, Venus Archangel here. I just am so excited, y'all. So excited because I get to hang out with my girl, Aquarian Insight. Okay. She's mentored me, doing all these readings and stuff. Hey, she's awesome. Let me go ahead and introduce you guys to her. She's sitting right here, just being all
Hi. Finally, it worked after all the technical difficulties, right?
Yeah, man. Like just always back and forth, man. It's like Google Hangouts. That was supposed to be easy.
Well, Mercury retrograde came early, so you know.
Yeah, it did. This did. Oh my gosh. About those videos, y'all. I'm sorry about the audio malfunction. That was crazy. Okay. That was crazy.
Oh, you had an audio malfunction. Oh god.
Yeah, it was like spots of audio just cutting out of each other. I was like, what is going on? Like this has never happened to me before.
Hey,
Ever.
at least you got all of your videos up. I think I've still got like 5 up. Oh,
hey.
Hi. Someone's saying hi to us in the chat.
Hey, how you doing?
Say cheese for me. Yeah, at least you got all of them up, so you're good. But thank you so much for having me on.
So jumping right into this. So I mean, let's kind of like start with the basics here, right? Like your username is Aquarian Insight, so you must be an Aquarius, right?
Yes, I'm an Aquarius sun.
Awesome. Do you mind like telling us what your moon is? I know I think I've said some of my stuff in the videos. Like I got a Gemini moon, I got a Taurus rising. So I messed it up before. Actually, I told somebody that I had a Taurus moon and a Libra rising. That was messed up. I messed up my own birthday. I don't know how I did that. You know what I'm saying?
So. Well, yeah, I'm an Aquarius sun. I'm a Virgo moon, and I'm a Sagittarius rising.
Nice. Awesome. So
is it? I know a lot of people that wouldn't say that have experienced my Virgo moon when you know that when I'm like, have you done your nails? Have you done this?
Oh shoot. Let me check.
Yeah, that's what reminded me.
Oh snap. Oops.
No, you're good. Yeah. I love astrology.
Okay.
I mean, obviously I do tarot. But I think astrology and tarot are like sister practices. They kind of go hand in hand together. Oh my God. So yeah, I think they are sister practices. They go hand in hand. And I do love astrology. It's my passion.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So what got you kind of into tarot in the beginning? Like what kind of led you to kind of go that route?
I actually talked about this a little while back. I think about a month ago. I kind of quickly mentioned it at the end of one of my videos, but I have a Scorpio North Node. So my South Node's Taurus, but I was very much in the corporate world for work before I got into doing tarot full time. But when I was around 12, I think I was around 12, I got into astrology. Astrology was the first thing that I got into. There was a book that I read. I think someone had left it lying around. My cousin or someone had left it lying around. It was Linda Goodman's Sun Signs. So if anyone's into astrology, I read it, and it was like reading about people that I knew, and I was like, oh my God, how does this woman know this about these people? And so that kind of got me into astrology. And then from there, I kind of got into astrology, palmistry, runes, anything. I was like, wow. I started investigating everything. And then I had a bit of a time where because I'm kind of I thought of myself always as a very scientific person.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this can't be real. So it was like toing and froing, like, is this real? Is this not real? Does tarot work? It doesn't work. Does astrology work? Because it was like toing and froing. And then in the end, I think it's the Scorpio North Node. I had to embrace it. Like I had no choice but to embrace it.
Oh man. Yeah, I hear you. So like, I guess in learning the tarot, obviously, do you think that opened you up kind of like spiritually to a lot more other things, like maybe like hearing things, seeing things, or even like, I guess, having visions of any sort? Does that make sense?
Oh no, that doesn't make sense. I know there are some readers that are they would say that they're intuitive, or that they would say they are they hear things, or they're clairaudient, clairsentient. I've never actually claimed to be any of those things. And I believe it's the Aquarius in me. I think that the Aquarius energy, it's very quick energy. It's air sign energy, which you know as a Libra, Libra sun. It's very quick energy. And I kind of explained this to someone. I've explained this to a few people actually, that, you know, when I know things, or when I'm doing a reading or something, it's just knowledge. It's like a memory. And the example I was given is, if I asked you that, you know, if I asked you to describe your living room, you could, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't need to hear it. You wouldn't need to hear someone telling you it. You wouldn't need to you just know what it looks like. And that's the same way the messages come through. They just feel like they've always been there. And I think that's in a very Aquarius thing, like just kind of as if you're just osmosis, just plucking the information out of the air.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That is awesome. So do you think, obviously, the tarot helped you develop those gifts? Out of
sorry, I just realized I didn't even answer your question. I was just rambling on about the clear sentient.
No worries.
I think what happened was, if I could explain a little bit, can I just say hi, Christopher? I just noticed there's Christopher in the.
Hey, Christopher, how you doing? Wow, Mars and Venus. Wow, sorry.
No, you're good. That's fine. I think from the thing that made me stop at tarot, which made me kind of really pursue tarot, was I liked the way it acts as a kind of portal, like it opens up information. Whereas astrology, I guess a lot of astrologers would say this, but at the time I didn't fully understand astrology to see it in the same way. And I think birth charts are the same, but they open you up to energies. And I like the kind of storytelling aspect of the tarot. Like it paints a picture. And for me, that kind of really intrigues me as I get to like delve into someone's story or to kind of explore that story. But the tarot also incorporates everything. Like it has astrology as part of it. It has numerology as part of it. So you can use all of that within the tarot. Whereas I guess if you're just strictly looking at a birth chart, you wouldn't think, oh, this is the Tower card or this is the Chariot. Like, do you see what I mean? But you would think of astrology when you're looking at the tarot. So I like that. It kind of encompasses everything for me.
Okay. Do you also use numerology with that? Because I noticed like like when I'm doing readings and I see like 3 6s or 4 5s, and be like, so like, do you think astrology has a really big hand in that as well?
Yeah, in fact, when I first started learning the tarot, that's how I used it. I used it as I understood the suits. So like cups or wands, like I was like, oh, that's fire energy or that's water energy, the same way as you would in astrology, right? But then it's like cross-referencing it. And that's my Virgo moon probably doing that. But, you know, with the aces as the beginnings and then the 2s and then the 3s. So that, yeah, it definitely helped me when I was learning the tarot to think, oh, I learned this in numerology or I learned this in astrology. So yeah, I think it helped me.
Yeah, man. Okay. That is awesome, man. I'm still trying to learn numerology. I'm getting there, like really trying to remember everything. So like what I've noticed so far is like a hell of a lot of 2s and a hell of a lot of 4s. And I'm just like, in my day-to-day life, it's like, you know, I think confirmation, right? I guess like, I don't know. Do you get like things like that now? Like considering that you're into all this stuff like tarot and stuff. Do you see symbols and stuff like that outside? Because I mean, I know I see numbers, and, you know, it's just it makes me feel weird. I'm like, but I just saw like this earlier today. I don't really know.
I think there's a lot of people right now, especially especially the people that I've spoken to, that synchronicities, symbols, messages, they're a part of their daily life. That's something that, you know, whether it's 1111, whether it's magpie feathers, whether it's whatever it is, whatever someone's symbol is, they see it. And a lot of times I get people asking me, like, what does it mean? What does it mean that I see these synchronicities? And I think only the person who sees those symbols can answer that question, because it shouldn't be that the synchronicity or the symbol means something in and of itself. It's not a message to you. I always think it's a confirmation of something that you already know. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
So like, say if you're thinking, oh my God, sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, we always do this. Everyone should kind of know that we know each other really well.
Yeah. shoot, I mean, we have we spend a lot of time together just chatting about all kinds of stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
romance. We talk about the freaking Mercury retrograde. I mean, we talk about everything that happens. So yeah, like honestly, like me and her, I refer to her as V. Honestly, so like, look, it's been a long time since it's been live, y'all. Okay. But it looked like Sarah Renee. Hey, how you doing? She asked the question, "Where's the money in Jupiter?"
What does that mean?
That's a good question. I guess, are you saying it's like is that a reference to, Sarah, like kind of like Jupiter being in Scorpio, kind of like maybe that's, I mean, it could affect your money right now, but I mean, we'll see throughout the year because it just started. It just went into Scorpio, right? Good day.
Yes, he has. Christopher has been with me from day dot.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
He's a Sagittarius, actually. Oh, isn't your birthday coming up, Christopher? What were we saying? Sorry, I've totally spaced. I got distracted by
We were talking about how get confirmation.
Oh, yes, exactly. So say cheese for me said it's a confirmation, but also a reminder. Exactly. But that's something that I truly believe, is that we have all the answers. Everything is a reminder. Like when you get a reading, when you get everything, I think everyone kind of has all that knowledge within them anyway. So everything is a reminder of a soulmate when they come into your life. They're there to remind you who you are, not about the relationship or whatever. It's for you. It's for you to know who you are. So yeah, but I think a lot of the signs, symbols, synchronicities, a lot of people, they miss the point of them because they get lost in the, oh my God, what does this mean? What does this mean? I need to check online. And all anyone can really do is they give their interpretation of what that symbol means for them. But for you, it might mean something else. Like say you're thinking about, I don't know, you're thinking about, will I get that job? So am I going to get that job? But then you keep seeing the same symbol every time you think that. Yeah. That's like, yes, whatever your instinct is about that, it's correct. Like the High Priestess card in the tarot. That's how I see it. It's that unseen.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, hidden messages, but the message, well, they were like, you got to read between the lines of those messages, right? That's kind of the whole thing with the High Priestess. Read between the lines. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I was thinking, when I saw the force and stuff, I was definitely thinking about relationships I've had in the past. And it's weird that fours, I guess they represent like stability and stuff like that. Or so it was very interesting to see 3 of those just on my own. I was just like, why am I seeing so many of these numbers? And I was thinking about my relationships, but I'm gonna have to take a look at them or really think about what that means. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, what is going on with all these numbers? I'm like, I'm thinking about it, but I guess, what are you trying to confirm? What am I trying to get confirmation about? Because I guess I'm not really. I guess when it comes to me, I think about stuff and I think about it, but I don't think about it. It's like I don't really mentally kind of catch up. And I hear things on like YouTube, like other astrologers talk about other things like that, or something, or like a conspiracy theory. I kind of get like I can understand it. It's like I need like a second to have it digest for me to like for everything to align for me to understand it. You know what I mean? It's like, so I guess what's something I have to do with numbers now. I'm gonna have to do with all confirmations. I wonder if that, like, I've noticed too that when it comes to confirmations for me, is that about something that I like, there's gonna be like I noticed like there's like certain things that I like maybe a picture of a rabbit or something like that, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cute, and it's something that's like involving like my life in some weird progressive way, and it's like, huh. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense what you're saying about confirmations and things like that.
I've always been into like dream interpretation. I guess that's kind of like a very Scorpio North Node thing as well. So I've always loved like dream interpretation. And I think my new hobby is now becoming like synchronicity interpretation. Like, you know, that's the new thing now. Ooh, what does that mean? So like, for example, the rabbit thing, like, did you see it because it comforts you, or is it like, do you see what I mean? Like, I'm not asking you to answer that, but I'm just saying that, you know, it's that kind of thinking that, oh, I find this comforting. So I see that, like, whenever I see German shepherds, like for me it's German shepherds, whenever I see those, they symbolize something for me, because I love German shepherd dogs. They're like my favorite breed of dog. I love them, and that has a significant like meaning for me, but I give it the significance. It's not because I read it on a website or because of anything. It's what they mean to me.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Shoot, I'm trying to think. I know that Chinese astrology, like it has some definite significance in there. And I think when you and I were talking with an old friend of ours, we were looking at, I think was it Aztec?
Mayan, yeah.
Yeah, Mayan. Yeah, there we go. And like, do you think that that we should incorporate those kind of like astrologies in more, or do you think they have a lot of relevance to our current situation?
I think anything that works for you, because like I said, like, we have the truth within us. I would tell anyone to be wary of, you know, becoming too caught up in like looking for answers outside of the self. Anything that you see, if it that's what is that word, resonates. And I think when we talk about, oh, this reading may not resonate with you, that all it means is it may not have meaning for you. Like it may not connect to some truth that you hold within you. That's what it means. So if looking at Mayan astrology, if looking at Vedic astrology, if looking at Chinese astrology, if that resonates with you, then yeah, that's great. But if it doesn't, then, you know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. I was like, whoa, oh, okay, what happened?
I was just reading Christopher's stuff. He says, in my chart, my Jupiter's trining his, oh my gosh, is Uranus? Gee whiz. And then it's trining his Neptune as well. But his Uranus and Neptune are conjunct as well.
I don't think it's possible to give advice like that, especially like not like this. Obviously, like looking at someone's birth chart, you could. But yeah, I think it's difficult because you'd have to look at the chart, because it doesn't just depend. It depends on the signs. It depends the houses and all of that. And it wouldn't really be fair to start pulling apart your birth chart here, Christopher, when we're trying to talk. I'm trying to talk to Venus Archangel and talk to everyone else in the chat.
Yeah, I know. It's a little difficult. Yeah. I was like, whoa. But yeah, see, Cheese, you know what? I have Saturn retrograde. What else is retrograde on my chart? There's like 3 things that's retrograde in my chart. I think it's Saturn, Pluto, and
Mercury. I don't know. I'm guessing.
I don't know. I have to look at my chart again. Those are the only 2 I can remember.
Look at what we just told Christopher. We're not going to dissect his chart, and now we're dissecting yours.
I know, right? I know.
But I will say this, for people that the readings never resonate with, because that happened to someone. I had this conversation with my sister actually recently. And she's a Libra sun, and I think, yeah, Libra sun, and she has a Scorpio rising. And for her, she always resonates with the Scorpio reading, but never with the Libra reading. No, please don't apologize, Christopher, you're good. But yeah, I think that's what it is, that, you know, it happens. I think also a lot of times, maybe we don't connect with that part of our energy just then, or there could be a major transit taking place. Like, I'm surprised Capricorn readings never resonate. Yeah, strong Capricorn, especially with Pluto there, like, you know, that's going to affect you. Like, I know my own Sagittarius energy came up really strong with this Saturn in Sagittarius. Like, I've really felt that. And I've always been very strongly Aquarius all the way, but, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I find that Gemini readings and Taurus readings resonate a lot more with my sun, and isn't it because like Taurus is like a fixed sign, so any fixed signs that are in my personal, like in the personal display, kind of like personal planets, personal anything, is going to be like dominant, right? Is that why Aquarius is stronger for you?
Yeah, I think some people say that, but I don't know. I always take everything with a grain of salt. That's kind of the way I like to see it, is like take it with a grain of salt, because I think a lot of the times I don't like when say one astrologer is like they know everything over another astrologer. I think the interpretation of birth charts, especially now because I've been really getting into that, there's so much. I could learn for the next 30-40 years and I would still be learning and still be learning. There's so much changing, there's so much there. And I think it's like a tarot reading, just like there's no, you know, this, like, you know, two different tarot card readers can look at the same spread and they can get different messages. Yes, the cards have like the certain energies, a spread has certain placements, but it's an interpretation, it's an art form, it's not a science. And I think that's the same. There are certain basics that, you know, that most astrologers or tarot card readers, and I'm not, just want to remind everyone, I'm not an actual astrologer. I have a passion for astrology, but I don't I don't offer astrological services or anything. I can incorporate it sometimes into my readings, but I'm a tarot card reader because I like that. I think it allows the kind of fluidity that I like when I'm kind of getting messages or, you know, whatever it is that I'm doing.
Yeah, man, I get that. I get that. Christopher, yes, man. I feel so bad for so many Sagittarius risings and Sagittarius suns. My dad and my sister have been going through it for like the last 3 years, and I know V, you have a Sag rising, right? So you know it. So I've been listening to you for we were friends for about 2 years now. About to be in 2 years. And girl, that last year or this year, oh man, it's been tough. It's been tough. Okay. So I'm happy for you.
But I think no, that's good. Sorry, I mean, again talking over each other, but yeah, it's very much. I think for me, when Saturn hit, that was like everything got shaken up. But because I was very aware of all this kind of stuff anyway, I mean, it's been a learning process and there's been a lot that's happened. And there have definitely been parts of this the last 3 years where I would be like, why? Like, you know, like I would never want it. I would never choose it. But now from where I am right now, I can look back and be like, wow, I'm glad that happened. That I'm glad I went through that because it's kind of brought me to a different place. It's helped open up so many doors, helped me to see I've changed so much, like just from when we met like 2 years ago. I think I'm so different now from when I was back then. I think like I always say, I think I've become more myself than I was like 2 years ago.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, this transit with Jupiter going into Libra and then leaving Libra, that was a very intense and crazy transit though. But one thing for sure is I learned a hell of a lot, and I'm looking back, I was not happy about all the changes. I was like, you know, resist the way, like, no, this isn't me, I can't. But then as it went through, and then we had all the, you know, that eclipse, the Leo North Node, you know, I think honestly, I'm really happy with who I am today, because not just the transits and stuff, because like obviously like the transits are just the weather. I think just the situations I was put in really helped me to understand myself, and the transits kind of like, I guess, gave me something to kind of, I don't know, not necessarily give me anything, but I think it showed me that what it was changing resonated, so I can understand what I was learning to the best of my ability. But hey, Monica, how you doing? How you doing, Monica? That's cool. Sorry, Via.
No, that's cool. I just saw that as well. So sweet. I think it's interesting, like what you said about the weather, because that's what it is. That's how I'm a big believer in that. I'm a big believer in the energies. The energies are, I say that all the time. The energies are the energies are the energies. Like, what you're gonna do, right? And I think I use this example all the time. People are probably tired of hearing it, but you know, if you're a farmer and you have to go out and plow your field, and that's the only way you're going to feed your family, trust me, you're going to go out there, whether it's raining, snowing, like, you know, whether it's sunny. It's just some days it's going to be easier, other days it's not. And I guess that's how I like to see the energies of the tarot, and that's how I like to see the energies of astrology as well.
Yeah, man. Well, I know you talk about a lot of the transits and things like that, and you know, kind of going on about like, you know, using the weather and everything like that. Using the weather being like the, you know, astrology, horoscopes, and things like that, and just kind of going based, you know, on that field. I watched your Truth and Free Will. You know, I told you about. I was like, wow, this is good. It took me. I'm sorry, it took me so long to watch it, but when I did, I was like, yes, I can resonate with this. I feel good. It let me, and I know that like it was a lot about like kind of what you believe and, you know, stuff like that. But I found like I felt empowered after watching that video. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was like, okay, so my free will is, is pretty dang on powerful. I can control my future. So I wanted to like ask you like what these out of the many that you may have studied or whatever, which ones like really stood out to you? Like what do you follow?
Like, what do you mean? Like, what shaped what I believe and the way
Yeah.
I've never really I come from a very religious family, but I've never really followed the religion. Like, organized religion was never the way for me. And like I said, I always thought I was very scientific, very open-minded. Like, this tarot stuff can't work. Like, and I've never really been embarrassed to say what I believe or think. So I'd be very comfortable saying, oh, I've been just reading this. And people kind of get a bit strange because they're like, you don't believe that, do you? But that's like, hey, you can be interested in things and not like fully 100% be behind them. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with investigating. And I'm interested in loads of different things. Like, when was it? I always use the example. I was watching some flat earth videos, and now I don't believe that the earth is flat, but it just interests me. Like, why do people believe what they believe? And as part of my course when I was at uni, I studied philosophy and like religions and stuff. And that was interesting to me. I've studied a lot of the major religions. And I think for me, a lot of what shaped me and helped me to believe the things that I believe are my own experiences, are the things that I've gone through. I'm always interested in hearing what was that? I'm always interested in.
Sorry. Right. He's trying to eat some food. My bad.
Okay, no, you're good. So it's always been, I think for me, like the truth and free will that you were saying, I think it takes a lot of us a long time to understand that we have free will.
Hold on a second, V. See you later, Say Cheese. Thank you for stopping by. Oh. Thank you. Bye. Oh, also, and hi, Fernando. Welcome to the stream. We're just having a conversation about, astrology, love, philosophy, like that. If you was just explaining to us, like, what she kind of, shaped her view and, her belief system. Sorry, no, go ahead.
You're good. You could so tell you stream on Twitch. You got that whole Twitch vibe going.
I know, right? Like, so yeah. Looking at the chat, looking at you, looking at the chat.
So I think a lot of us, it takes us a long time to understand that we have free will and what that means. And to understand that we have power. And the first thing I think a lot of people do when they realize they have power is, oh my God, I'm not using my power, or my life is bad because I've made it bad. And it's not like that. It's never that easy. I think the first step is to understand we have power, and then to know that, we'll use it however we need to use it. I always say it's a delicate dance between what's fated to happen and our own free will. Like, we get presented with opportunities, but how we use them, that's up to us. We have choices. We always have choices, no matter what happens. But yeah, I think it's always just been my own experience that's guided me. I think I'm very stubborn. So unless I experience it, it's not real.
Yeah,
it's not real for me. And that's something that I've actually become more like that, not less. Because I had a lot of empath stuff that happened. Why do people struggle? That's a good question, Christopher. Why do people struggle with recognizing they have free will? Because I don't mean this to sound bad, but some of it is laziness, right? Wouldn't it be easier if someone else came and did it for you? Like, think about our society. Yeah, think about our culture. We're all about easy, easy, easy. Like, someone else do it. Someone else do this. Right, exactly. Because free will isn't just choice. It means we're responsible. We have responsibilities then to ourselves. And I think a lot of people have problems with that, taking responsibility. And it's not to judge anyone, because I think why we do it is we don't want to mess up. We don't want to make a mistake. Like the Two of Wands card in the tarot, right? Why does that guy stand there at the crossroads deciding which way to go? Like, he doesn't want to choose the wrong path. That's the way. Hi, Kaleidoscope.
Hi, Kaleidoscope. How you doing? Welcome to the stream.
She always leaves such insightful comments, so I love her. Yes. Yeah. And so that's how it is, that we don't want to make a mistake. I've had so many people, especially after the Truth and Free Will video, where they were like, I don't want to I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to make the wrong. And I was always tell them there is no wrong choice. Whatever you decide now is going to get you to where you need to be. You know, there'll be more crossroads. There'll be more decisions to make. And I've said this to you so many times, right? That don't be afraid to make a mistake. You just go ahead and do it. And what happens is you start learn to trust yourself more. And even if you do make quote unquote like a mistake, it's not really a mistake. It will take you somewhere else. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. I feel like, I know, like, you've been like definitely coaching me on that. Well, not really coaching me, just being my BFF and just telling me, look, just take control of your life. If you don't like it, you want to lose some weight, just do it. I'm like, yeah, I know. And she's not that rude, guys. I'm just exaggerating the shit out of it. She's like, you know, because my nickname is Lost, so it's like, she's like, you know, if you wanted something to happen, you just do it. You have the power to do it. I'm like, I know, but I'm lazy. So she's definitely right about that for me. So, like, especially with this YouTube channel, I mean, I went from half-assing it to really working my butt off because I was recognizing my power. Like, if I wanted to be a help or be the person that people come to for advice, I needed to be that way and for myself, and I need to be, a little more responsible in how I, give out my messages. So,
I want to answer Christopher's question because he says, do you think we see people as they are or as we are? 100% as we are. One of the things that I say is that I said this about soulmates, that they mirror us, right? That, they mirror us. And someone said soulmates don't mirror. That's not what I mean. When you look into a mirror, the mirror doesn't become you. The mirror reflects who you are. And some days we're going to look in the mirror and think, wow, my hair looks good today. My hair actually doesn't look good today, but that's some days we'll do that. Other days we'll be like, wow, I feel so tired today. But the mirror doesn't actually change. It's what we see in the mirror. So yes, we are always going to see aspects of ourselves. So like, say if now I was talking to Lost and she said something that upset me, that she might be just very innocently expressing herself, but it's triggered something within me. There's some wound within me that is triggered by whatever she says. So that's me. That's me looking at her and thinking she's hurt me. Now, that's not to say that obviously some people, there are some damaged people out there, with all compassion and love for them. And that's where we have to have strong boundaries to know who we allow in and who we don't allow in. That's our lesson as well, to learn that, who do we allow in and who do we not allow in. As much as we love people and show compassion to people, we have to do the same for ourselves as well.
Yeah, man. I think this whole year was about boundaries for me. So I was like, I was just experiencing. I was like, oh my gosh, why does this crap keep happening? I'm done. That was it for me. I was like, I'm done. So I think, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's, as far as like going back to astrology again, I'm sorry guys, but like I know Jupiter and Libra thing, man, that's made me like really look at the stuff I let in, people that I interact with, it just in my eyes, because obviously Libra, right, is the seventh sign, and it represents the seventh house. Libra's about relationships and stuff like that. Well, yeah, so it. Definitely how I communicate with people and how I am in relationships is definitely a big focus point. So yeah, definitely I agree with what you're saying there. So on a little bit of a fun note, I thought I'd just kind of throw in some cool questions, some fun romantic questions. I got those, a little bit of love in there. Okay, so
yes, I know you're all about the love. You're all about the love. I know.
Hey man, smooches here and there, hugs, they're great. Hey, candlelight dinners. Actually, yeah, I'll get back to you on the candlelight dinner thing. But anyway, Aquarian, I wanted to ask you this. Okay, out of all the signs in the zodiac, which one would you pick? Yes, I gotta do it.
Are we really taking it here? Okay, go on.
Okay, so if you had to pick it all, like what sign would you I guess as personally, what would you pick, I guess? And you feel free to go through all the signs and kind of talk about the aspect.
For what? For love?
Yeah, for love or relationship. Sorry, yeah.
See, that's just it, but you can't do that because no single person is just their sun sign. So
Yeah.
sometimes you get people saying, you know, like, oh, I'm a Libra, he's an Aquarius. Like, did we get on? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you know, I know Libra and Aquarius are sister signs, but what else is going on in your chart? Like, you know, there's loads of factors that make up compatibility. In the same way that we can't just not like one sign because of one aspect. Like, I love all the signs, and no one believes me when I say that. But, you know, I've been hurt by every sign. I've been let down. You know, I've had fights with all the signs, but you can't judge the actual astrological sign by one interaction or two, even 50 interactions. Like, you know, I think you have to take each, and that maybe that's my Aquarius side, but, you know, I take each person as an individual. You know, they are what they are, and not just because of their birth chart, because a birth chart only shows the potential of what that person can be, right? And some things
exactly.
you're going to embrace some things, and other parts you might not embrace. You know, it doesn't mean it's inevitable. I heard another astrologer on YouTube. What she said was that, you know, she said a birth chart is not a life sentence. Like, you know, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, especially with progressive charts or progressed charts as well. I mean, definitely you see kind of how, like, you're still, of course, this, you know, right? Supposedly you're still all the signs that you were born with. It's just like how it progressed over time, considering how old you are, right? So yeah, so definitely that's true. Like, you got to work with what you got, you know, as far as who you are, right? So, and then you just kind of like with the melting pot of people that we have in this world, and everybody is not the same thing. Everybody's not the same thing. Yeah, like me and Aries, like, you can't expect them to just be all like, you know, ready to punch you in the face. Like, there are lots of Aries of people that are just genuinely sweet. So like, you don't have to worry about them like being super aggressive. I think it's kind of like a stereotype. But I guess, like, how do we like overcome the stereotypes? I guess with all the signs, because I think everybody's got a lot of them.
Oh, I think it's like I said, you just have to take each person as they are. Like, just take them for what they are and how they communicate to you. And I think when you know yourself, when you have strong boundaries yourself, that's the secret to anything. You want love, you want a good interaction with someone, you want a great job, whatever you want to do, you have to know yourself. And when you know yourself, when you not just know, when you love yourself, when you truly love yourself, like, think about it. When you love a friend, or, you know, a child or someone in your family, you want the best for them. So when you love yourself, you're going to want the best for yourself. You're not going to accept someone treating you badly. Because I think a lot of times there's things that we allow people to do to us that we wouldn't allow someone to do to our best friend or to our sisters or brothers or anyone. But when it comes to us, we allow it. And I think when you know yourself and you have strong boundaries and you love yourself, you're going to want the best for yourself. And then you enjoy the interaction. And the other aspect of that is, I always say, like, take care of your own needs, take care of your own wants. So if I'm feeling lonely, I find a way to take care of that myself, because then I don't rely on my partner to do that. And of course, we're human beings, we're social creatures, we want companionship. But the problem is when we start connecting with people like lovers, or we're in romantic relationships where all we want them for is to fulfill some need, then that's where problems come in, I think. Whereas if you don't have them for that, you can just enjoy people. You can enjoy people for the goodness that they are. And I see some people are writing this.
Yeah, Christopher's talking about the 13th sign. I think it's horseshit. I'm just gonna be straight up, because it's like, where is that? I mean, because already
what she said.
Because I think Pisces and Aries, they have such a small spot already, and Aquarius is like, where are you gonna jam that 13th sign in? Like, where are you gonna? No, man, bye, bye. You know, bye. So yeah, I think it's BS. But what do you think, Aquarian? Sorry, V. Oh my god.
No, it's cool. No, you're fine. Yeah, just bullshit. No, I don't. No 13 sign. What's Kaleidoscope saying?
She says, I think I always think of birth charts as like God's pinball machine. Okay, that's pretty accurate, I think. Hey, man. Yeah, like all the plans and how they're placed, it's just like wherever the ball hits, it's just that's kind of what it is. Grew up religious, and astrology it was such a no-no, and I always thought, why? Someone's got to decide when and where to drop the ball into the machine.
Well, Christopher, that's just it though, right? If that's what you want to believe, that's great. Like, you know, if that's what you believe, because you know all the different branches of astrology, all the different schools, they all believe different things, right? So it's not so much pitting each one against another to say, oh, is this correct, is this correct, because there are, in the same way, there are so many religions, and it's not which one's right and which one's wrong, it's which one works for you.
Yeah.
That at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, someone could be watching this right now and they'd be like, oh my God, are these people actually talking about tarot? I mean, these are like, they're laminated pieces of card. This is nothing. And they're like, what? They're basing anything off of this? So it's what works for you. Like, I won't argue with people.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Can you, like, I don't know, I guess as far as I'm going back to the philosophy thing, I know I'm just bouncing all over the place, but
that's good.
I know, right? Very just crazy. But anyway, you could I just put my hand up for Gemini Moon. Yeah, I know. But anyway, I guess as far as like as you know, I guess philosophy and stuff goes, what is your most prominent boundary? I guess what is your what is what is like the biggest, I guess boundary for yourself? Kind of give people an idea of like what boundaries are, like, I guess, are all kind of work on building, because I'm building mine and stuff. So I guess what is like the number one, and how did you come up with it?
Okay, I think boundaries are important. I have so many, and I enforce them. I actually was enforcing one earlier today, and a lot of them, I should go back a little bit, is I had in my early 20s a lot of the same problems that a lot of anyone with empath, you know, if you have empathy, if you're very empathic, what you start doing is you become codependent and you become like a people pleaser. And believe it or not, like people that know me now and lost, you know what I'm like. Yeah, it's really hard to imagine I'm like this, because I'm not like this at all now. But I was very much like that. I would be a people pleaser. I'd always speak my truth. I always lived in my truth, but I would maybe sacrifice myself in too many ways, in ways that maybe they kind of hurt on the inside. But I did it because I felt like I had to. Because, you know, when you think, oh my God, if I say no, you feel guilty. So rather than saying no, you just go ahead and do it. It's like, I'll just do it. I'll just sacrifice myself. I'll stay up till 4 a.m. and do this. So I'll, you know, take on the extra work. So I think that was something I overcame, and I was forced to, because I was very ill for a number of years. And that kind of forced me to put my own needs and wants first. They very much forced me to do that. And that's where I started I learned, the first word that I learned was no. And oh my God, the first few times I had to say no to people, and I had to, because I physically wasn't able to do stuff. But the first time I had to say no, I was racked with guilt. The guilt was enormous. But now in my life, I have a lot of different boundaries that I have. One of them is, and I guess this is me, and this is one that was I was enforcing earlier today, actually. You know how I don't like to be told what to do, right?
Oh, definitely. I warn other people. I'm like, hey, look, just don't tell her to go to sleep, y'all. Just leave it. Leave it.
But I also think, why should one human being tell another human being what to do? It doesn't make sense. It makes absolutely no sense. If someone comes to you for advice, you can give your advice. You know, you can give your opinion if someone asks you. But if you believe, oh, Sarita's learning no as an Aquarius.
Hey, Sarita, how you doing? Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard.
And so, I mean, even people that, just to say a moment about something about empaths, because Christopher's brought it up. People that are empathic or like highly sensitive, they try to control the world around them. So like they might remove themselves from people, or they might tell people not to do this or to do this, or, you know, I'm too sensitive. Mm-hmm. And that's a stage that we all go through. All empaths go through that. And I think empaths truly come into and it's a gift. It doesn't feel like a gift a lot of the time, but it is a gift to have empathy for other people. And I think the way to do that is to have strong boundaries yourself, to know, live and let live. Yes, that's a very Aquarian. That's one of the first lines that I would ascribe to Aquarians, is live and let live. Like an Aquarius, I think, yeah, that's me. I don't like people telling me what to do. And no adult should tell another adult what to do anyway. Why would you need to? Yeah. Why would I need to? Like, why would I say to you, oh, go eat something? But like, you're an adult. You're an adult. You know whether you do or not. And at first I'd never used it, because then you're thinking, but I just care about you. I'm showing you concern. And especially as an empath, like a lot of the times I can read people so well that, trust me, I know everything. So what do you want me to tell people? You know, go, hey, I think you need to go eat something, you know, get a sex life and get a new job. Like, where do you draw the line then, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Where do you draw the line? So
Yeah.
so it's not unless someone asks me for advice or, you know, puts it forward to me, I don't get involved. And I think it's gotten to that point now. I've never tested this, and touch wood, hopefully I won't have to. But because I believe in free will so much, if somebody wanted to do whatever they wanted to do to themselves, for themselves, that's up to them. Who am I?
Yep.
And I get it. Like someone earlier today, they were telling, it was about this stream actually, and they were like, don't be nervous, like, you know. And I wasn't nervous at all, you know. I'm not nervous about doing stuff like this. You know that, right? No nerves.
Yeah.
I was fine.
No,
I was just more I was more busy. I was like, oh my God, like we have to get this in at certain times. So it was more the busyness of it. And I was like, why would you? And she was like, you know, you'll be great. And I was thinking, but I don't, that's one of my rules. And she was being very sweet. Like, to be fair, I love her. She was being very sweet to me, but it's out of a sense of caring. I think we overstep boundaries. We overstep on other people's boundaries when we don't need to. We have to trust other people that, you know, no matter what they're trying to do.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You know, it's different for children. That's what I say, adults. Like, obviously you're going to tell a child what to do. That's how they learn. But for adults, it's different.
Yeah, because you've already been through the stage of, because we've already been through that stage, you know? You're like, okay.
But
especially
that's, sorry, we're talking over each other. Okay. No, I was just going to say, one of them is that, that's my rule number one. Don't tell me what to do. But I think the main one, the one that's less selfish, because that's quite a selfish one, but, you know, I don't have a problem with, I think the word selfish is much maligned. I think, you know, we should take care of ourselves. Yeah. The other one is I don't put words in other people's mouths. So I won't try to think for you, and don't expect you to think for me. So I don't just assume that you'll know something unless I say it to you. And even no matter what I sense from you or whatever, unless you tell me that, I'm not going to act on it. So even if sometimes you can tell when people don't like you and stuff, but they're smiling at you saying, oh, I love you. And it's like, okay, like, you know, that's cool. I'm not going to act on what I think. I will go by it. As long as you behave decently towards me, I will accept that. I will accept it.
Yeah, that is some good boundaries to go by. I have problems with overstepping overstepping boundaries per se. I don't do that anymore. I actually haven't really done it at all. I mean, but I have an issue with is like thinking for people. I think I jump the gun a little too much because I think I know what they're about to say. I think I know what they're what they're trying to convey, and I don't. And I don't know. I like try to speed the thing up. Like, okay, wait, I know what you're trying to say. I know. Oh, that's one thing I do need to work on because it's frustrating for me because I get tore up when I like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm like, oh man, here we go. I messed up again. So it's a learning curve, and man, the more you like, the more I see that I just don't, I guess get it. The more it's just gonna be like the lessons are gonna stick because I'm just not getting it. So yeah, I definitely get that one.
I think yes, that's true. Energy doesn't lie, but where do you draw the line? Especially if you're an empath or you're a psychic or whatever you are, right? Shouldn't you give the other person the opportunity to kind of communicate to you? Like, I'm very big on communication, you know that, right? I'm huge on communication, and I don't let things fester. So if someone does something that crosses my boundary, I will say it straight away. But it's not the end of the world for me. And I have Mars in my 7th house, so that kind of explains a lot of that. Like, you know, I can be rather what people would perceive as aggressive when it comes to relationships. But you know that, Lost, you've said it yourself, that at least you know we don't have a problem. You can be totally relaxed around me. And and even if we have a disagreement, I will bring it up, we'll talk about it, and then it's like, all right, cool, shall we go do this now? Like, you know, it's nipped in the bud. And I think the first few times you were pretty shocked by that, right? Because you were like, oh my God, like, you know.
Yeah, I was expecting probably like maybe 2 or 3 days of anger, kind of like, or trying to readjust because there's a little bit of tense. No, straight up was resilience. Like, hey, okay, so we're done with that. Let's go ahead and hang out. Okay, let's like play some video games or something. I'm like, because the people I can constantly interact with, they always have to have that breather room or something that is like, and they just kind of like act all funny. You're just quick, be like, oh, okay, so I guess it's over. Okay, so all right, no recovery.
I think, yeah,
All
that's
right.
what it is. As long as I can communicate, and I don't like things to fester. And I kind of read somewhere, like someone had posted this thing where it says silence is often misinterpreted, and it's like, well, of course silence is going to be misinterpreted. What else would silence be? Because it's a void, and when you leave a void, that person has nothing to put into that void except what they're thinking, what they're feeling, their own fears about the situation. And so I will always do, like, for my friends, for my family, I'm always happy to talk about just about anything. And if someone came up to me and said, like, I'm feeling this, as long as it wasn't like an accusation, if they were like, they asked me something, I'd be more than happy to discuss it with them. Because they don't understand. There's nothing wrong with not understanding, because we all have our own thoughts, feelings, ideas, where we come from. So sometimes we need a little reassurance. Like, for example, that whole thinking for other people thing. Like, if you all of a sudden, we were on a call and you said, oh my God, I need to go, like that, and just left. Now, if I was thinking for you, I'd think, oh my God, I annoyed her. I said something wrong. I've upset her. What did I do? She doesn't like me anymore. Like, that's the inner dialogue that usually starts going. Like, whereas for me, I would be, now I don't think for people. So I'd be like, okay, she had to go. When she comes back, she'll explain. Like, unless you tell me the problem is with me, I won't assume. The problem may have been me, but unless you tell me, I don't think it's me.
Yeah, Sarita, actually, that is one thing that I actually had to overcome, and V helped me so much with that part, with the silence being like, it leaves negative thoughts and misunderstandings. She's helped me with that so much, because before I used to just talk all the time just to avoid any sort of silence of any kind, and I had to understand that silence doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, and I don't have to. I guess it's all about how I perceive silence, and I need to kind of work on why I see silence as a bad thing. And she's definitely helped me kind of realize, like, have me think about that. So I've been through processes, and around people, and I've been able to be, just remain silent sometimes, not just because I've been like, oh, I'm just gonna be quiet now because just trying to force it, but allowing the conversation to completely, like, naturally die down, or like, if there isn't really nothing to talk about, don't force it because it's unnatural. And silence is just, it's fine. It doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing.
I think it's also like what Sarita means is if there's two people that are communicating and one person goes silent, like, one thing, the silent treatment, I see that as a form of abuse. Like, hey, I'm an Aquarian, so I absolutely understand needing to take a break, because I think what you were talking about last is like in a group dynamic, you don't always have to fill the silence with chatter. So that's a totally different thing. Yes, you should be able to feel comfortable around people. Like, you don't need to always be on show or keep the conversation moving. But when it's a dynamic with someone, I think what Sarita's right, is that silence leaves negative thoughts and misunderstandings, in that, unless you tell me what's wrong, if you just disappear, if you just ghost, or if you're like, give me the silent treatment, that's a form of abuse, because I don't know. Now you are controlling the relationship by when I get to say how I feel or not.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? And that's not a good power dynamic to be in. I don't usually have a lot of patience for people that do that kind of thing, because me, I don't do silent treatment.
Absolutely not. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, sorry, Serena. Yeah, okay. Yeah, man. I know I've had relationships with people that they'd give me the silent treatment, and I would just freak out. So it definitely does not feel good to be treated like crap.
And don't get me wrong, like, we don't have to always be trust me, I have an Aquarius sun. I need me time sometimes. Like, I just need to be away from people, or I need time to think, especially when if I'm very emotional. And that's something I think a lot of Aquarians do, that it's misinterpreted, I think, because we're seen as cold. They think we don't feel anything. But the thing is, we're great at communicating, but sometimes when we want to understand what we're feeling, I don't want to speak for all Aquarians, but I guess for me, I want to understand what I'm feeling. And I don't want to come at you from a place where I'm angry. I don't want to project. an emotion that I'm not aware of onto you. So I may be, and you know what I'm like, I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna be gone most of the day, or I just need a few days to myself. That, yeah, not everything's cool. I just need some time to myself. And so that lets the other person know that they've not done anything, and you can go off and like take care of yourself. And then when you come back, you're actually stronger and better for it.
Yeah, in case it's funny that you say that, because a lot of the people that gave me the silent treatment, I found to be narcissists. So that is very interesting that you say that. It's very true. I mean, I don't know if that's all that was the case, because some people can give you a silent treatment and not be narcissists at all. It's just a form of abuse. But I found that people that were doing that to me were narcissists. I was like, well, wow, okay.
But it's a control thing. The silent treatment, it's absolutely a control thing. If you're controlling the dialogue, then you have power in the relationship. And if you think about it, like say you're in a relationship with a partner who is the calm one, who's always in control. They look always in control. But when you try to discuss something with them, they don't give you anything. So you're trying to say, oh, honey, I want to talk about this that happened yesterday. They're giving you nothing. And eventually you're going to start losing your temper, right? Because you're going to be like frustration that, hey, I want to talk about this. Can we talk about this? And then you look like the one that's unreasonable. And you might look like the one that's the aggressive one in the relationship. But actually, the person who controls when the dialogue takes place and how it takes place, that's the person in control. But it's usually not seen as that, because they're usually very calm and they're very quiet and they're like, hey, I'm just like, and it could be a boundary thing, but you have to be open to, yeah, exactly. No one deserves that. It does make people feel worthless. But the thing is, they feel worthless themselves. A lot of people that do that assert, that's a form of control, and maybe they need that. And that's fine. Like, they need it. I never judge anyone, because every single person comes from their own hurts, their own problems, their own whatever they've been through. Like, they're coming from something as well. They've been taught to react like that, or whatever it is. That's where your own boundaries come in. That's why I'm a big believer in boundaries, because it's up to you then, that how, if the way you treat me, and I say to you, look, I this doesn't work for me, I need communication, then if you don't, Sarita's so sweet. Yeah,
I know, right? I can feel the energy rising in here. Okay, I can feel it. Sorry, go ahead.
So no, that's what I mean, that if you have strong boundaries yourself, then you will decide that this is not working for me, like this is not working. And like, the other thing, like, just kind of jumping around a little bit, is the soulmate dynamic. One of the things, if anyone that's followed me on my channel, they know I don't like the S word. I'm like, I don't want to use the soulmates word, because people have such kind of they have their own views on what a soulmate is and what a soulmate isn't. And one of the things that I think that worries me about when people say soulmates, they think it has to be perfect. This is going to be the perfect life partner. We never argue. We never do whatever. And any kind of relating between people, whether it's siblings, whether it's friends, whether it's your lover, your soulmate, there's going to be times where you're kind of stepping on each other's toes, where you're getting to know each other. You and me have had arguments, right? We've had disagreements about things. They've made our friendship stronger.
Absolutely. I can attest to that, man. Okay. I mean, honestly, like, how we interact with each other, either like private or live, we've been through a lot together, as in, like, growing together and learning each other's boundaries, or learning, just trying to, different dynamics and stuff. So definitely, yeah. So conflict is honestly the way towards peace, in my opinion. So
yeah, so that's what I think. So that it would upset me if two people met each other and they were greatly compatible with each other, but then they had an argument over, I don't know, they went out to dinner and someone ordered the wrong wine. I don't know, anything. What do people argue about? And then it's like, oh my God, but my soulmate wouldn't do that. If this person was my soulmate, they wouldn't do that. But you see, that's not how it works. It's looking at then, okay, why did that trigger me? Like, you can work through things together. And that's one of the things that worries me about the way the soulmate thing has become. Karmic relationships, twin flames, all of this stuff. It worries me that it's become something that doesn't serve us anymore. It's something that, with new definitions, that we kind of confine ourselves to all these different definitions of things.
Yeah, man. Hey, Kesha, I appreciate that. And I try to keep it. She's keeping me calm right now. I'm actually like nervous. So she's my rock right now. No, sorry, I got under the bus right fast. You keep me calm. But yeah,
I don't mind being under that bus. You're okay, honey.
No, not everybody has a difficulty being real because they have. Because I think for a lot of people, I guess when it comes to streaming and stuff, from what I've watched, like from Twitch, from here, because I did used to play video games, as we mentioned, on the internet. But I think the people have like an idea of what they should be on TV, and what people don't really understand is that the big streamers, like the ones that have like 1,000 views or things like that, or TV shows, for instance, like the main thing with reality TV shows, the reason why they're so great is because people are reacting naturally to those things. So hell yeah, I get it. Okay, I think everybody, once they understand that
hang on 1 second, I just want to raise a point. Did you just say the reason reality TV is so great? What the hell?
It is though. I mean, even though sure that like the drama in there is like instigated, like, and it's like totally on purpose, but the way they reacted to it is just like, oh snap, oh snap, oh snap, you just like, you get a little excited. So I mean, that is what's interesting, because you get to see people's natural reactions to it. I think how that would unfold as naturally as they possibly could. And then you see, like, I don't know if some of you guys watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I mean, I watch it sometimes. I haven't watched it in a while, a little bit, but like, well, for instance, Nene, when she walks out, it's like, yeah, she's legitimately pissed.
I don't watch TV either. I think Keisha. Is it Keisha or Kesha? I don't know. Sorry, I don't want to mispronounce the name. But yeah, I don't watch TV either. That's cool if you do.
He said he loved reality TV, Christopher. Hey, I haven't watched reality TV in such a long time. I don't even know what's happening right now. So
yeah, we keep her busy. That's why. Now, I think for me, I think it's entertainment, but I find so much. I don't want to use the word entertainment, but people interest me so much, and there's so much from all the people that I meet every day and people that I speak to, and you know how much I love people. I love communities and stuff. People, just hearing someone's story, like what they've been going through or why they became the way they are, their struggles, it interests me. I like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that's why one of my favorite things about people is learning their body language. I've really always been interested in body language and like how they're able to convey a message without saying anything. Communication anyway, like communication is important. I think whatever you have going on, you should be communicating. As you said, V, communicating is important. Okay. And what Kesha said, or she said, I think she said communication is life, man. Yes, it is. But I also think that like it's very interesting to see how people convey their message, like I guess how it's positioned, how they're positioned, how their feet are. I don't know, and it's really interesting that like I've read books and I've seen these things. Sarita, yeah, man. It's so interesting, right? When you're like, oh, someone's actually interested in actually having a conversation with you, and like you see, like you having to glance down, you look at their toes, you're like, okay, they're facing me. Yeah, he's interested. Now, if it's somebody that like you're having a conversation with, you realize that you're carrying the conversation, you like look down, you can tell their toes are facing outward. You're like, wow, okay, so they're not paying attention.
Okay, right? I have a point to make about that. Because I actually studied body language. I loved it. Like anything to do with communication. I'm very kind of swordsy. And even though it wasn't words, I was like interested in it. But until you think that you can't use that, again, that's why words are so important.
Oh.
Because the thing is, imagine someone's been to the gym that day and they've just done leg day. And they're trying to sit in a position, they might be so interested in you. But first of all, they're kind of a bit quiet because they're in pain. And then, then maybe their legs are a different way because, their glutes are going and their hamstrings are hurting.
Oof, yeah. Oof.
So they can't. And then you're like, oh, my God, this guy's not interested in me. So that's why I say don't rely on any of that. You just go straight for your words. Like, it doesn't matter. Why are you waiting for him to express an interest in you? You go tell him that you're interested in him.
That's true. Hey, you know how many people have asked out myself? Just be like, you know what? Take it to the outline. I don't like you too much. Let me just get up in there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I totally get you. Yeah.
I also think that, yeah, exactly. But, we don't need them. It's good. We have those lightning quick minds and it's just like, just say it. I think if we had filters, we'd actually mess ourselves up because we'd start second guessing. I think it's just easier. Just think it, say it, just go with whatever comes through. Although, yeah, that gets me in trouble sometimes. But hey, it's good trouble. It's all right.
It gets you out though, right, V? You said this before. It gets you out of it too. So, hey.
Whatever can get you into trouble can get you out of trouble. So it's all good. But what were we saying? Yeah, that's why communication really is. I think communication is the way to go. When you perform a recorded reading for someone that is done prior to them listening to it, how do you connect to their energy? What do you mean? So when I know, because Christopher, you've had a reading from me, but you mean like how do I know so much information about them from the reading? Again, I think it. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, what were you going to say, honey? Go on.
I'm just reading his question. I was thinking, is he talking about like how do we connect to the energy of the question, or like energy put into the question? Because could it like that, like because our energy could change from one minute to the next. I mean, I think the energy stays there, right? It's like an imprint. So like it wouldn't leave because your energy shifts from the question, right? Or is that kind of what he's trying to ask?
Oh yeah, I know what he means, because sometimes it can be like when I did a Skype call reading earlier. So that's me connecting with that person's energy. And the readings are very different, I found as well. When I'm doing a Skype call, it comes out differently. Because a lot of people, what they say to you is that as a reader, you're cold reading them, right? That's what they say. You're cold reading them. But I don't do that, because most of my readings are recorded readings. And so, as are yours, right? So
yeah.
So they just send in a question. I mean, some of my questions have been simply like, what can you tell me about, what do you see, how's the situation with me and, whoever the person is, a name. I don't know if that's their brother, sister, co-worker, lover. I don't know any of that until the cards come up in the reading. And then you have to just go. Yeah, exactly. But Christopher, that's how it works. I have my theories, but I don't know. It just happens. I just trust it now. I used to question it so much, Christopher. I used to question it, which is why I think I like the recorded readings more, because I can just get absorbed into it. Because what happens is when we're on a Skype call, the person will stop you and start going, oh my God, yeah, that's so me. And they're giving you feedback. But you're like, no, hold on a second. That came up in the reading. But, now it looks like they've told you it. So
yeah,
I don't know, Christopher. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. It just happens. It happens like that. That's how it is. Like whatever question, like when people say to me, how much information do you need or not need? And I just say, just tell me. I personally believe it's some kind of higher aspect, some higher thinking of ourselves that connects with the other person. Like it comes from somewhere. That information comes from somewhere. It's knowledge. That's all I can say. As an Aquarian, it's just knowledge. And you have to trust it. I think a lot of the times we don't trust what we know. And I just have to trust what I know and just say it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm coming into my power more and more, and I'm learning to trust myself more and more. But gosh, it's just like I don't know what I'm looking at. Sometimes I'll be like, no, just breathe and just kind of relax, and then I can actually find. Is it true? I guess one more question. I guess before before we wrap this.
Oh, what Kaleidoscope said. Sorry, can I just answer that? She said,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, Kaleidoscope is very true. You said, I think when you ask for that help, you're open to the other person. Absolutely. And on my pre-booking page, I have a lot of information about readings that I won't do. And one of them is I will not, like, say someone comes and asks me, oh, does he love me? Or is she doing X, Y, and Z? And I won't answer that question because that person has not given me permission to connect with their energy. That's the only way I can put it. And I feel that's a karmic violation. And so, yeah, I think what you're saying is true, Kaleidoscope. I think that's very true, that the person gives you that permission to connect with them. And it's our higher selves. Exactly, Keisha. Never doubt yourself.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. That's one thing I've also learned too. Is like it's a karmic violation, and then how you help yourself by learning about someone else. Like you gotta really look within yourself to find the answers. That's why the Hermit card is such a big thing in the tarot as well. Like you gotta do the information. You gotta do the inner search within you. You can't do it within someone else. So it kind of doesn't really serve anybody when you just kind of spy on someone else and just because you're not really growing in that respect. You're just kind of getting information that you really shouldn't be using. So yeah, I get it. What was the question I was just about to ask?
Sorry, I totally kind of derailed the whole thing.
No.
Kaleidoscope. We'll blame Kaleidoscope for writing something so insightful.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for such like awesome, comments and everything from everybody, and all these great questions. What about Planet X, Keshia?
Nibiru.
Was that?
That's Planet X. Sorry, I was talking about that.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't heard about Planet X.
Don't worry, it's fine.
I know about the 13th sign though. I was like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Please. But other than that, Planet X, I have no idea. I feel bad for Pluto, just constantly being considered either a planet or a dwarf planet or not a planet at all. It's like, gosh, that planet is just not getting any kind of respect.
But that's astronomy, right? That's astronomy. Astrology is not astronomy. When we talk about astrology, when we talk about tarot, we talk about energies. That's why I'm always like, the energies are the energies are the energies, because that's what we're referring to, an energy. Yeah. What is that energy? It represents an energy. It represents something intangible. And when you're trying to look at where, it's this constellation and it's this, that, and the other, well, that's great. That's great if you're an astronomer, but I don't claim to be an astronomer, so I don't know.
Yeah. I get it. I get you. Yeah, this is a totally different ball game. Oof, I wanted to get into astronomy, but then I was just like, I don't really know if I care that much. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I don't know if I care.
Pluto can. Kaleidoscope is. I've got an obsession. Kaleidoscope. I've got an obsession with Pluto. I can't help it. Like up until I swear, Saturn in Sagittarius changed everything, and that's Sagittarius energy, right? It's all about it's about higher learning. It's learning new things, the new adventure, exploring what, the meaning behind those things, the information, our own personal philosophies. And I think that changed everything. And so I think I'll be leaving. What's the tarot card symbolizing Aquarius? It's the star, honey. It's the star. Yeah. So yeah, I think that I have an obsession with Pluto, but I'm still exploring that obsession.
I can attest to that, because like she said she was talking to Pluto. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? But yeah, she like, I was like, hey, well, she's doing. She knows what she's doing. Because I give Aquarius that credit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Yes, everybody. Hi, Christine. How you doing? Look at that, Christine, Christopher. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, sorry. I gotta go there with fucking matchmaking and stuff. Look at me. I'm sorry, y'all. But anyway, did you want to pull some cards, V? Like, kind of like, I guess.
You had a question. When I derailed the whole thing, you had a question and then you forgot.
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah. See if I can remember. Guys, ask some more questions. If you got any, ask the questions. I have to kind of like go into myself and figure out what the question was.
Does anyone have any questions? You're insane, I swear. I know. The best kind of insane, but insane nonetheless.
Yeah. Wait, what was the context of the question? Do you remember?
Oh my God, I swear you really are lost.
I am, man. I got so many things going on up here. I'm like, wait, where did we just put that?
Let's see. I don't know. Anything love related? You're all about the love. Come on. There has to be something love relationship related.
Okay. So in regards to relationships.
Keisha, you can ask questions. She said I have a lot of questions.
Oh, awesome. Yes. Please do.
Okay. No, I know Lost is kind of looking at this now. She's like, oh my God, here she goes. She's going to go off on this. I won't go off, I promise. Well, I'll try not to go off. I can promise that. Okay. I think personally, my problem with karmic, my ex. Oh no, really? I'm sorry.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Okay, so my thing with twin flames, I think it's become within the spiritual community now. First, it used to be like, I've been reading the tarot for 20 years. No one used to mention soulmates. No one used to. You'd get the odd person, but it wasn't a thing. It just wasn't a thing. And then now it's like every other question is, when I meet my soulmate, how do I get rid of this soulmate? You know, how do I get back to my soulmate? Like everything's become about soulmates. Yeah. Yeah, he knows that the soulmate is not one of my favorites, but it's become this hierarchy. Because so before it was, oh, this is a karmic relationship, and then it's like, oh my god, no, I can't have a karmic relationship, I have to have a soulmate relationship. Then it's like, oh my god, no, a soulmate relationship isn't enough, I need to have a twin flame relationship. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It's not a hierarchy. And I think we can get so caught up in the dynamics of what we think each one means, because it's like what who was it that asked the questions? Was it Sarita? Yes, of course. It's important to ask what someone thinks as twin flame is. It's because it's a very individual thing. I say that in one of my videos, in my Truth and Free Will video, that if you think you have a soulmate connection and every single person in the world stands up and says to you, that's not your soulmate, do you trust the world, or do you believe in your own conviction that, yes, this is my soulmate, I trust my connection with this person? And I think that's what it has to come down to. It's a very individual thing. I think tarot card readers, astrologers, all anyone can do is they can show you the connection. They can show you that this connection exists with this person. And then what happens after that, it's between the two people in that relationship. And I said this to someone earlier today, that I treat every single person who comes into my life like my soulmate. So every single one of you in chat now, we have some soul connection. I treat everyone like that, because every single person is an opportunity for me to see something about myself. Everyone's a mirror for me, and I don't differentiate. And I know some people, if you believe you have a twin flame connection, then please go by your own experience of that connection. Don't get caught up too much in what other people are saying about twin flames, because everyone has, who are you going to believe? There are at least 2 dozen different definitions out there. So you have to find the meaning for it yourself. I don't usually get too caught up in the semantics of things. Like, I think definitions and words, yes, we have to use them because we're human beings and that's how we communicate. But at the end of the day, and I said I wouldn't go off, and now I'm going off on this.
Hey, man, that's fine. This is interesting. I'm just like, yeah.
So hang on, but also, what does...
Yeah, kaleidoscope. Let me see. Good question, Keisha. Okay. Is everything?
What was it? I didn't see the question. It was going quite fast.
Oh. Which?
No, it's okay. Hang on, I will scroll up. I can do it myself. I'm just being lazy.
I can read it for you. I see it. Christine, question?
Yeah, like what? No, okay. So what kaleidoscopes get? I think we're obsessed with the twin flame thing because we're in the process of integration. We aren't ready from the get-go to realize we're working on our own internal balance. So we connect to the idea externally first. Absolutely, absolutely. One thing I will tell you, that I've done so many relationship readings in, obviously, like just in the last year alone, since I've done the channel, and relationships are evolving and changing. The way our parents were in relationships, it's not like that anymore. It's not like that. How we use relationships now. I mean, I think our parents' generation, they got together, those relationships were to give birth to our generation. And then our generation to, the generation after that. But now it's acceleration. Like, what is the fastest way to learn and to grow, to learn about yourself and to grow yourself? How is that? Well, the fastest way is to interact with other people. Let them push your buttons. Let them trigger you. Let them do all of that wonderful stuff. You will learn who you are much faster than if you go and hide out in a room and read every single book that you can lay your hands on. Like, dealing with other people, that's the fastest way to do it. Why are you laughing?
Oh, me? I'm not laughing.
I thought you were reading something interesting.
I mean, I did. I see Christopher saying, what's your friend's name? I like her. I'm like, Oh my god, I'm blushing. But really fast. Hi, LaDonna. How you doing? She left a nice paragraph
Oh,
here for us
LaDonna,
too.
bless her. She was the one that I forgot to put a link, and she was like, "I want to join the live stream, but I don't know where the link is and stuff." So thank you. I'm so glad you made it.
Yeah.
So what did she say? She said, "I feel like a soulmate is so much more than a romantic partner. It generally represents someone that comes along, makes you question long-held beliefs, whether it's in many." Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah.
They are here to, a soulmate will always bring you back to yourself. That's what they're there for. And I say that because I believe we have all the answers. We have all the knowledge. Sometimes we just need help remembering. And they can come in every walk of life. That person that spills coffee in you in Starbucks every morning, that person who's stealing your work, you know, at work, you know, they're stealing all your hard work and passing it off as their own. Those are soulmates. But we only think of soulmates as that perfect romantic partner, and it isn't that.
Yeah.
No, love is not evil. Okay, can I just talk about love for a moment? Because someone said, what is love? Okay, so love is beautiful. Love is pure. Love is unconditional. If someone says to me that they're looking for love, and I'm like, okay, you know, that's cool. We're all looking, well, we are love, but okay, I try not to be too difficult about that. So if they say, you know, I'm looking for love, and they're like, I love this person. And I'm like, well, there you go. You found love, because love is that emotion that you feel. But they're like, no, I want to go out with him. I want to get married to him. Or, you know, I want her to move in with me. You know, whatever that situation is. That's not love. Love is just the emotion. That's what love is. Now, the other stuff, that's possession. That's feeling vulnerable. That's, you know, when you feel love, it should make you feel like happy and beautiful, but it doesn't, because now it makes you feel vulnerable. You want that person to express that love back to you. So that's where vulnerability comes in, but that's not love that does that. Love is that beautiful feeling that you get. Like when I love unconditionally. I absolutely don't want anything back. Yes, I would like to share a life with someone. Yes, I would like to share experiences with someone, but that's not love. That's other aspects of being a human being.
Christopher's crazy. Christopher, you're crazy.
Yes, exactly. Love is just the purest emotion. And love, I think, has become muddied with so much other stuff. It's become muddied with, like, you know, possession, wanting to own someone, wanting to be with someone, a reflection of our own self-worth. Like, so how many times do people, they get their self-worth from outside of themselves? So it's like, unless I get that person's love, I don't mean anything. Or if that person leaves me, you know, my whole world falls apart. And yes, when we love someone, we want them to be in our lives. There's like, it's okay. That's why we have the Five of Cups. That's why we have the Three of Swords, because these are cards that talk about pain. They talk about heartache. But one of the biggest heartaches that I had in my own love life is the reason that I'm sat here today. I mean, I wouldn't be doing tarot or be open to talking about love if I hadn't experienced that. And not just experienced the love part of it, but experienced the loss of that love. So, yeah. Who's this? I don't know who she's talking to, me. Oh, me. Okay. Thank you, Linda. No worries. But yeah, so that's what I think. I think it's a beautiful topic. It's a beautiful feeling. And maybe it's because I'm an Aquarian and I can talk about this, but unconditional love. But so few of us can do it. Like, even I can't. Like, as much as I talk about it and I understand it, I get heartache, I get pain, I want to be with certain people, I miss, you know, people. But most of the time, you know, the fact, I'm grateful that I'm able to feel love. Love itself is not evil. So whoever it was that said, no, Keisha, love is not evil.
Yeah. Well, that was awesome and really enlightening. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty freaking.
Yeah, that's because you're all about love. All you care about is love. So you love any kind of talk about love.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm fine. Now, see, like, I mean, look at the heart back here, y'all. Like, if I don't love love enough, I don't know if that doesn't say, but yeah. I'm surprised I didn't even come up with any love questions. Okay, I was just really like,
I'm so surprised. I thought, oh my god, it's going to be Love Fest 2017, but
I know. And I was just like,
Oh, can I
I
just
was
say
really just
something?
kind of like, okay,
Sorry, I keep looking at that.
sure, yeah.
She said God is love, and that is true. But one thing I will say to you, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe, aliens, angels, whether this is some kind of like divine kind of simulation, like we're in a Sims game, whatever that divine spark is that you see, it is within you. You are a representation of that. So if God is love, that means you are also love. That spark of love is within you, because that divine spark, it exists within you. And oftentimes the only experience we will ever have with that kind of divine energy is ourselves. We kind of manifest, we create, we have the power to change our experience. So we are a physical manifestation of that divine energy. Are
Yeah,
you just focused on chat now? On the
No, I was totally listening.
Mhm.
I was following along. I was making sure. But yeah,
I agree
yeah, I
with
agree.
Kaleidoscope. I agree with
Yeah,
Kaleidoscope. Sorry.
that was actually the first thing I actually learned. But before before all of this, and my sister and my mother, they were learning Reiki, and their Reiki master, Mr. Aman. I can't remember his first name, but his name is Mr. Aman. I know that for sure. And he was talking about how what we see, like this, like 'cause a lot of people actually in the room that he was mentoring or talking or having his, having his speech, they were Muslim, they were Christian, and even some were, atheists in there. And he says that one of the things that through his, his third journey and things like that was, that God is within us. And he was talking about, the lines in our hands and what they mean in a certain language. I can't remember exactly, and they mean one, and that was like and like, or hue or something like that. Human or hue is God and man is us, right? So we are like, who we are is what we can put out into the world, if that makes sense. So I completely get that. So that's one of the definite things I definitely learned in the beginning. So
I will say, bye, Christine.
oh, right. Bye, Christine. Thanks for stopping by.
I'll tell you this. One of the saddest things about humanity as a race, as all of us, what we do is we look up to God, which is great, right? But we try to make God human, or whatever that divine energy is. We try to make it human. We try to ascribe it human emotions, human feelings. And I don't think the natural order of the world, like that, whatever this cosmic energy is that runs through the universe, it doesn't think like us. It doesn't feel like us. It has a whole different design to it. But I wish it worked the other way around. I wish people would understand that we don't have to reflect ourselves onto God. We need to reflect God or the divine onto us, and understand that we are the kind of physical manifestation of that energy, rather than trying to limit whatever that divine energy is by ascribing it human characteristics.
Yeah, man. Yep, I agree with that. I'm just, I mean, I hate to be like, I hope this doesn't seem like it's rude, but like everything you're saying, it resonates, and I don't have anything extra to add to that. It's just like, it's so well said. Am I right, chat? Can I get a one in the chat for like that being like super clear and spot on?
Is it my alien talk again? You always say it's my alien talk.
Yeah, like you know what? Sometimes it can be. Yeah, I think this is your alien talk, but I can understand it. It's just, I think it's just my like my other like my Gemini's assessing the data, and they're trying to connect the dots and stuff. So it may be fast, but not fast enough for this. So I honestly cannot remember my question. Oh, okay. Well, there's actually one question I wanted. Thank God I've written it down. Okay, so one of the ones is and I know it's like a lot of people, like when I was talking about stereotypes, right? And like especially romantic, and like I think Ukrainians have kind of like a stereotypical view of being cold and distant and not really wanting to be in a relationship. But tell us, like, can you tell us exactly, I guess, the astrology aspect of it? Like, what is the true Aquarian love that people just don't understand or can't see?
I think as an energy, we can't talk about specifics because yes, I have Sun in Aquarius, but my Venus is in Sagittarius, so that has an effect. My moon is in Virgo. All of these things affect, and how they interact with each other. So I can't speak about that, but what I believe personally as an energy, first of all, I think we need all 12 of the energies for anything. Without, it's not a party unless all 12 of the signs are there. It's not, that's how we need it. But as a sign, Aquarius, it upsets me. And no, it doesn't upset me. I can understand why. Because there are a lot of Aquarians out there, like any sign, who are not in there. And that serves us too. We need those people. They're learning, they're challenging us. And that's the interaction, that's the play. There's no good or bad. But I think an Aquarius in their light, and I used to be like that. I wouldn't really connect. I'd be very detached. And that wasn't me trying to be cruel. I was just trying to figure things out. And I didn't understand that, I can feel an emotion. I can look at you, be like this and say, I'm really angry right now. And people will look at you and say, what? You don't look angry. But it's like, I am. And I do that, right?
Yeah, it's like sometimes you be crying. I'd be like, oh, snap, you're crying right now? Because you sound normal. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, but that's because an emotion has two different aspects to it. You can feel the emotion, then how you react from that emotion is a totally different aspect.
Yeah.
But some people think, oh, because I'm angry, it justifies anything. No, if you're angry, that's the emotion. Now, how do you channel that? Magician, channeling of energy. Mm-hmm. You have anger there. Where do you channel that anger? So, if your neighbor annoys you, like they've built their wall too high or something, do you go and punch their neighbor in the nose? Do you write a letter to your local council? You have different things that you can do to channel the anger, productive or not productive. So for Aquarius, I think, speaking for Aquarius, I think because Aquarius is about the collective, I once heard someone say that, Aquarians, they belong to everyone, but they belong to no one. I think that's sometimes at times that's been true in my life. That, I've been like that, where I've been a great friend to so many different people, but when it comes to one-on-one, I used to be more detached. But I also think it is unconditional love. I think Aquarians, they can show people unconditional love you've heard this rant before, and let me just have a quick look at to make sure I haven't missed any question.
No, we just got some people preaching. I hear you. I hear you. Hallelujah.
What I will say is unconditional love. I've said this often, and I haven't actually, since I had that rant, I haven't said it again since then. But I had this rant once, and poor Lost was witness to it. But I want you guys to all think about this, and it's something that I contemplate a lot, that love is love, right? There's no difference between love. If what I was saying before, that, if love is love, then how you love your brother, your sister, your friend, your lover, it's all the same. It's all the same. It's just an emotion, an expression, the way you feel about that person. Now, we don't go crazy, typically when it comes to our brothers or sisters or to our friends. And yet the kind of, and I mean this in the most affectionate way, because trust me, I'm as guilty of this as anyone. The madness that kind of overcomes us when we get into a romantic relationship is totally different. But if you think about it, what's so different about a romantic relationship and every other relationship? I think and the only thing that I could think of was sex. That's the only kind of thing that's different, right? It's physical intimacy. You wouldn't have that. But that's not enough to kind of throw the dynamic. I think love is love is love. So if we just focus on the love aspect, when you just love, you just love. And I try to not even that, even when I see people struggling, I have love for those people. Even if they're in my face, making me feel annoyed, I'll have love for them because I understand their struggle, but I have love for myself and will remove myself from that situation.
Yeah, and that makes sense what you were saying, especially about the unconditional love portion. Because how can we have unconditional love for our families when having unconditional love for everyone else?
Yeah, and I think that's something that I think Aquarius can show very much so. When that's Aquarius energy, it has the potential for that. I'm not going to just sit here and say, hey, oh my God, every single Aquarian is like that, because they're not. Not all of us are like that. It's an energy, it's a vibration. And I think that's what's possible. And that's why everyone's kind of wants this age of Aquarius, right? Because it's about brotherhood, sisterhood. You know how big I am on communities and
Oh, hell
yeah, and you know, people working together and being there for each other. That's a big thing for me. But having said that, one of the things that I don't like is, and this is totally going off on a tangent, is I do not, yeah, I do not like how it feels in society at the moment. We're all trying, it feels like popular culture, whatever you want to call it. It's like it's trying to grind us down into identical stubs. Like, you know, any kind of uniqueness, any kind of originality, it's just like, oh no, you can't do that. And that's one of the things I love about this Leo North Node. Like, everyone, follow your heart's desire, stand out, step out into your own spotlight, be the king or queen of your own kingdom. Like, that's something I do love about, even though it's the opposite. I don't actually have any problems with Leos. I know a lot of Aquarius and Leos have problems with each other, but I was raised by a Leo, so I have a lot of love and affection for Leos. My dad is a Leo. And let me see, what does...
I think the crazy comes with our deep-seated innate pull to integration. Though romantic love has been set up as the symbol for that.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about the hierarchy, because now it's no longer about just connecting with someone. Now it's karmic. Is it karmic? No, it's a soulmate. No, is it soulmate? No, it's a twin flame. And it's like, but the thing is, if we truly believed in our connection, if we truly believed, we wouldn't need it to have a label. You know, there's people that they are in perfectly good relationships and they're upset because they're not married. And it's like, well, what would change if you live together, you have kids together, but it's the label of it. And yeah, I understand. It's the pull, it's that drive to legitimize your relationship. But if you had full confidence in your relationship, and this is a blanket statement, and I'm oversimplifying, I understand that, but the more confidence you have in your connection, then you know, you don't really need to prove to anyone that you have a relationship. You trust what your relationship is. And that's one of the problems I've seen. I've had a lot of people have different, what's that card from the Romance Angels lost? Religious factors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, religious factors. So that's like the Hierophant card for me, where people might be different ages, they come from different cultures, or they have different beliefs, or whatever it is. And that's more and more an issue now. Like, you know, it's because society tells us you can't date someone who's without this age gap, or, you know, you can't be, if you're from different cultures, you can't date, or if it's a long distance relationship. Like, all of these things have been taught to us, but are they true anymore? Are we just following a script that was written so long ago and it doesn't even apply to us anymore?
Yeah, if you think about it.
Yeah, but the thing is, if we don't go by that script, then we don't feel like our relationship is worth anything. So I think we have to trust. This is why I say it comes from ourselves. Trust yourself, know yourself, love yourself. Then you can connect with someone, truly connect with someone. And then you'll do the same for your connection. It won't matter what anyone says to you. It won't matter what anyone projects onto your relationship. And you won't need to prove it to anyone. Your connection will be your connection.
Fair enough.
Marriage is a money scam.
Oh, Christopher asked a pretty interesting question. He said, I guess in a reading that you did for him, that you can't channel energy if someone's emotions get in the way. And he said that you mentioned... so
I'm trying not to cough at the moment, sorry.
Oh, sure, no worries.
No, go on.
So he said, mentioning you can feel energy, but depends on how you react. How do you do that specifically, especially being... Did you mean to finish that, Christopher?
What was it? Channel. Okay. All right. So this is something I have talked about before. What does it mean for... All right, hang on. I will talk about Christopher's one first. One of the things that I personally believe, like, I have a few days that I wait before I read for someone. If someone's trying to channel your energy, it depends on what you believe, right, and how readers work. But if someone's trying to connect with your energy or channel your energy, if you are very emotional, if you're like totally caught up in grief or worry, stress, or whatever it is, then a lot of that is going to come through in the reading, depending on the reader, depending on the topic, depending on the situation. So yeah, that's kind of, I think that's what I meant, but I'm not sure. I don't know when it was. Oh, can I talk about the devil card? Everyone has a go at me about the devil card, especially Capricorns.
Hey, let's talk about love lives too, relationships.
Yeah.
Hey, by all means.
Okay, so what does it mean for a relationship to be crowned by the devil? Should one run? Asking for a friend. Okay. So the devil is, none of the cards are good or bad. They just are. They're just energies. And I've said this so many times, and a lot of you will have heard me saying this a lot. But an energy is an energy. So if I gave you fire, you get to decide, am I going to cook with that fire? Am I going to stay warm with that fire? Or do I go and burn someone's house down with it? And that's the same with all of the cards. Each of the cards has an energy that's a lighter energy and a darker energy. And neither is good or bad. But the devil card, it's not a card of change. The devil card is a card of power. That's why it's related to Capricorn, because Capricorn is a sign, it talks about the governing bodies. Who has power over us? Are we in our integrity? That's what Capricorn's about. So a lot of Capricorns, they get very offended when they see the devil card, because they're like, I'm not a devil. That's not what the devil card is, not calling you a devil. It's asking you to look at who has power over you. And that's what Capricorn does. That's the Capricorn energy is all about that. So that's why it's said it's the card for addiction, because addictions have power over you, right? And the example I use for that is that if I drank a glass of wine right now, the wine itself doesn't have power over me. I'm just enjoying a glass of wine, right? I'm just enjoying a glass of wine. Someone gave me a bottle. I've had a glass of wine. Now, if I'm drinking 2 bottles every single day, it now has power over me. That's the difference. That wine now has power over me because I have to drink it. I'm compelled to drink it. The Lovers card doesn't have the devil in it. I always see the Lovers and the devil card as 2 sides of the same coin, because it's the same dynamic. You see the couple, the couple in each of them. Yeah.
There's like the angel on one and then the devil on the other, like is the So you're right. That's the thing. And Sarita too. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'll let you keep going in just a second. But like as far as there's nothing like for the devil card. Honestly, it all depends on the situation as far as change goes. Because V is right. It doesn't mean change. It does mean power. It depends. You have to. It's asking you to pretty much look at your situation and find your integrity or find the power in your situation, or what has power over you, and how can you gain that power back, or something like that. So it's not necessarily like what's changing, just more of like what your focus is and how you can shift your focus. Does that make sense? So sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah, that's the devil. That's what the devil says. Like if in the original Rider-Waite, and I would look, I have got the Rider-Waite here. Would I be able to find the devil on such short notice?
Hey,
but do you have the devil? Do you have the devil? Oh, here we go. I found him. Here we go. Okay, so can you see it? Is it too shiny?
Mine is like super shiny too. I'm gonna have to adjust this light, y'all.
Okay, so I mean, in the devil, if we have the devil card, he's not actually touching them. He's not touching them. They're tied to him. They're tied to that plinth, but he's not touching them. He's not holding on to them. They stay there willingly. And they could lift the chain off their neck at any time if they wanted to, but they don't, because they choose to stay there. And oh God, the Tower is one of my favorite cards, honey. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, so the devil, it's like, what has power over you? And it says, only those things that hold us back, that we allow to hold us back. So yeah, it's seen as toxic situations, but it can also be karmic situations, like, where we have karmic debt, stuff that we have to work through, that we have karma that we need to work through. It very much depends on the reading. It's like saying, is Saturn good or bad? Like it depends on the transit, depends on your birth chart, right? So it's the same with cards. They're not good or bad. It's just how they're playing out for you within that reading or that spread. The Tower. Lost, you know how much I love the Tower, right?
Yes, I do. Isn't that a card that's very Uranian?
Well, they say it's Mars, but I think it's more Uranus. I mean,
right? It's not
yeah. So people say it's seen as Mars, but I don't actually agree with that. But okay. What I will say about the tower, like, I don't know if I'm gonna tell a little story now. Do you guys remember for very many years, the death card? The death card was seen as like death. In Hollywood movies, there'd be a tarot card reader or someone messing around with tarot cards, and they'd pull the death card, and it'd be like da da da. Oh my God, someone's about to die. Like, there'd be that whole thing with the death card, and I think everyone understands now that the death card is a card of change, right? So the death card is a card of change. But now I think the tower has become the new death card. But the tower is a neutral energy. It's not, by the way, yeah, Lost, it's going back to you when you're doing that, if you're wondering.
My bad. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. So yeah, the tower, it's a card of, it's a neutral energy. It's a sudden shock. What karmic relationships are, okay. Yeah, I'm sure. But a lot of the time, Sarita, the tower itself, it's the shock. It comes in out of nowhere, like that lightning striking. It's supposed to serve us, but everything serves us. Nothing is good or bad. Everything serves us. It doesn't have to feel good. I mean, if you've built that tower and the tower is like collapsed around your ears, that's the only house you had, right? So you don't want your tower to collapse around you. It's not going to feel good. But what card comes after the tower in the tarot? The star, which is a card of healing. It's new beginnings. It's guidance. It's hope. So, the tower has its place too. What were we going to... No, you're good.
Sorry, just had to adjust some stuff up here because it was like, whoa, what the heck's going on? But anyway, yeah. I in the beginning, honestly, I got tested this too, especially when you're helping me understand the tarot. Tarot freaked me out because I'm like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I think wasn't it one of the things that you taught me for sure? Was that when the tarot comes up, it does symbolize, like you just said, like instability in a home, possibly, like just showing, like suddenly, like seeing how like the foundation of something that you have wasn't exactly that strong. And I think actually one of the beginning things is like, especially when it comes to like, advice, when the tower comes up, because I asked for a lot of advice at the beginning, is that when it comes up, it's telling you that you have to, well, not telling you that I have to address something, but there's a need to address something so that, on my own terms, before it kind of like, there's other things, other influences that not can necessarily like spirit kind of going like, hey, you didn't do this, so bizarre, more of just like things just be, there's a chance that, how it unfolds is just how it's going to unfold naturally. So it's kind of like taking charge of the situation to withstand your foundation, or kind of just letting it kind of, unexpectedly just kind of pop. If that makes sense. It's like, am I at least like
no, I understand. I remember what I said to you. I think what you mean is it's that energy of, like, say for example, if I'm in a job that is awful. I'm in a job that just is awful. They treat me really bad. They make me work extra hours. They don't pay me, but I stay there because it's like, well, it's better than not having a job, right? And it's that kind of energy. Well, then, yeah, the tower can strike. I might lose my job. That feels like out of nowhere. I've just been kicked out of a job, right? That's like the tower. And it's like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? But that's because it wasn't built on a firm foundation. It wasn't serving me. And that's also the death card, but it's the tower is the suddenness of it. That's what I feel. Now, the tower can show up in a love reading, and it doesn't have to be something awful. It can make the relationship stronger. So I say me and my partner are in a relationship, and the tower card comes up for us, and we have that tower energy, like something unexpected happens. I don't know, some third person gets involved in a relationship, or we lose our house, or something. Now, if your relationship is solid, that tower energy is going to prove that to you, because you two become stronger together. You become tighter. You face this energy together. For other people, it's going to show all the cracks within the relationship. And then it's like, nah, I can't be bothered. And it's going to reveal the weakness within that relationship. So, it's not good or bad. It's just a testing time. It's a change that comes in. Yeah, it's unexpected. Exactly. It just is. And what we do with that energy, that's up to us then. I just described a slave.
Sorry about the background noise, y'all.
No, it's fine. I didn't hear that. Yeah, but Keisha, how many people are in jobs that they are treated like slaves, right? They don't get paid, they don't do whatever.
Not this one, but I used to work for an eye center company, and my goodness, it was just horrible, man. I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't deal with you people. You know, it's like y'all are just crazy. But it's not even. It wasn't just the customers that were bad. It was the staff itself. So it was just like, wow, this is crazy. There's too many people that do it. My grandmother's done it for years. She's finally retired, thank goodness. But she's been craziness. All right.
Okay, can I talk about reversals now? Because that comes
absolutely.
up a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes, Rita.
Yeah, and yeah. Okay, so I've read reversals before. I think it depends very much on the reader. There's nothing wrong with reading reversals. Absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever. I stopped reading in reversals a very long time ago. And to be honest, I think you can kind of say, like, for me, it's just the way I read. Some people would be very card based. And then, you know, the reversals help in that. It's the different styles of reading. I don't. And I think for me, it's very much because of the flow of the narrative. Like, I've had the King of Wands come up as an underlying energy in a spread. And I think this was for Libra a few months ago. So this is an example. So the King of Wands comes up. The King of Wands isn't a bad card, right? It's about passions and someone who's confident, who's someone who's independent. So great, that's brilliant. But because there were other cards in the deck that were talking about fear, that were talking about someone being defensive, then that automatically to me is the reversal, the reversed energy of the King of Wands. So yeah, I think it depends on the reader and the style. I've just been reading a very long time, and I don't read cards individually. I read them as a whole, and I'm an intuitive reader and an energetic reader. Like, I read the energies. So I don't like the reversals. I think they throw it. I mean, I have done them before, but I can tell the energy of that, the reading from that, and I like that leeway. I don't like to be locked into a position. I don't like to be locked in because it's an energy, right? And especially in a general reading, why would I get that specific? Because for some of you, you might be the negative of that King of Wands. For others of you, you might be the positive of that King of Wands. So that's going to very much depend on you, how you use that energy. Free will and truth, right? Always.
Yeah, and to answer your question as well, I don't read in reversals. V even mentored me with regards to the tarot, so like I've learned not to, and I've learned to use my intuition, like she said, just kind of to assess what the card is trying to say, because you can have a card that's upright and it'd be like, well, that's a really weird spot. But if you use, like, if you see, like, especially with according to not the conversation, but the question, you can honestly see what they're trying to say with the card, even if it is upright. Because sometimes you don't. Sometimes some cards don't turn up upright, and you have it in a weird position. You have to read it energetically. You have to read it that way, and you have to see what it's trying to say to you without having it be in a specific spot. So,
like, I'll give an example. Say you got a card like I don't know, like the Tower. We were just talking about the Tower, right? Oh, sorry. Can I just say this because she's talking about reversals? Exactly. And also, Kaleidoscope, I'll tell you one thing, even though this is not truth, because some of the cards reversed actually have a more positive meaning than when they're the right way around. But I think for some people, especially for if you're a client and you see loads of reversals in your reading, that's going to throw you energetically. It's like, oh my God, I've got all reversals. And they may be like cards that are better or more positive reversed. I just don't like that. I like the freedom to let my mind roam and not be kind of hemmed in to a positive or a negative meaning. I like the reading to take that direction, not the card itself. Yeah, I agree with that. Your own negative energy. What do you mean by that? Sorry.
What is it?
No, spiritual, like salt baths and stuff. Yeah, you can take salt baths and to clear your energy.
Okay.
I was just trying to understand, because I've worked with quite a few people. A lot of the people that I work with, they come through and they will ask questions like, you know, they feel anger. They don't like that they feel angry, or they are upset, or, you know, they're trying to figure out, they don't want those emotions. Now, the only way to really work through something like a negative emotion is to actually work through the emotion. I know we have terms. I'm not a positive thinker, so anyone that knows me knows I don't believe in positive or negative thinking. I think every emotion serves you. If you're upset about something, that's something that's not working. Like, it's a signpost in your life to say, hey, this needs work. Let's go fix this. So that's kind of, but we're kind of taught to be happy, to be positive, and that when we're not happy and positive, there's something wrong with us. Now, I do believe that we manifest from our vibration, right? So if you know, whatever we want to manifest, we have to vibrate in that energy. Okay, that's nice. Coffee bath. I've never heard of that, but yeah.
I bet you smell delicious.
Yeah, I know, right?
Kona. If it's Kona, I'll be like, oh snap! I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need. What else do you do in there? Like, cause I need to know what's up. I want to do the same thing. Meaning.
But yeah, I'd say that just if it's an emotion that you're trying to work through, you have to. Well, you don't have to do anything. It's free will is a thing, but I would always say look at the emotion, because you can't fake positivity. And I think our culture has taught us to be fake positive. Slap a smile on it. No one has to deal with it. Let's go. And that it doesn't work like that. If you feel like crap, you have to be like, okay, you have to first own up to that, you know, this is not working for me, or this is really upsetting me, because then you can fix it. And then you can truly vibrate positively and manifest from that. But you can't fake it. You can fake it for the people around you. You can even smile into the mirror, but inside you cannot fake a vibration, and you only manifest from a vibration. So you have to truly vibrate at that energy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I found that when I when I was focusing on my work and I really enjoyed what I did, and I really enjoyed it. And I just like, oh yeah, this is great, you know, and like, oh no, I actually enjoyed my work. I've seen results. I've seen like some definite changes in my and just what I was doing, and that, and you know, the kind of just seeing how things kind of worked out for me, because it was a genuine feeling that, you know, that I'm actually happy what I'm doing. I enjoy it. Like, this is fun. I did not expect to have 9 viewers, and look at that. I'm enjoying the, you know, interviewing with UV and just hanging out, and I get so many wonderful people to come in the chat. So they, you know, man, it's just awesome, you know. So, well,
no, okay.
kind of. So, I was wondering, do you want to go ahead and start pulling cards? I know it's getting kind of late and stuff.
Yeah, it's 10:30 here in the UK.
Yeah. So,
what did you want us to do?
Like, well, I like the idea of like pulling, like you pulling an oracle card and I pulling like a tarot card, and kind of interchanging that way. For like, I guess for all the signs for like for full moon and Gemini, since that's what we're setting up. So.
Okay, so okay, we can do that. Any specific oracle?
Which one's your favorite? You can pick out your favorite one. I guess the one that you like the most. I'm just gonna use the Wisdom of the Oracle.
Oh, then hang on. So I thought you wanted me to do the oracle and you were going to do the tarot. Can I just do the tarot then?
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, you do the tarot then. Yeah. Sorry, my Libra-ness is coming out, y'all. Indecisive. I know.
This is terrible. I'm on your channel pulling tarot cards when there's still 7 of the signs that are without videos on my channel. Sorry, guys. I'm going to finish them tomorrow, I promise.
I mean, hey, we appreciate you. I know you're busy and stuff. That's all, you know, you're swamped and stuff. So we just even appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us. At least hanging out with me, because, you
know. Christopher, I used to give free readings to so many people. Whenever I could, I used to give free readings to people. If I could, I would, but it's just not possible now. I get so many people booking with me, it just stopped. And actually, it was around that time. What happened, every time I tried to do a free reading, the mic would mess up or something would go wrong with it. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I still try to. I'm going to start running competitions again, I think, or doing something, but I haven't decided. What am I doing? Who are we picking for first? Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Sagittarians.
Yep, happy birthday.
So, okay, what have we got for Sagittarius? Well, this flipped up, so we'll keep this. The Page of Cups. Here's the Page of Cups right here.
Oh, fork in the road. I don't know if y'all can see it. Oh man, sorry about that, y'all.
Well, you know what? That's so obviously that the Page of Cups can be a message of love, or it's that budding emotion. For some people, this is going to be an offer of love, and they're going to have to decide what to do with it, with the fork in the road, right? Or did you want to talk about?
Exactly.
No,
I agree with that. Like, there's gonna be the whatever offer they are extending or going to be receiving. There's something that they have to decide whether it's the passion that they want to kind of walk down or not. You know, or how to kind of carry out carry out this information that they're going to get. So yeah, I agree with that.
I think the other thing with the Page of Cups is there's always something in his cup, always something. So people that kind of doubt how they're feeling, or, you know, this says that there's some budding emotion here. There's some budding. I'm not even pointing at the right place. Here we go. I'm just pointing it over like, oh, there we go. Yeah. No, it's good. So it's about what to do with that. So for some people, there'll be an emotion they don't know what to do with. Like, you know, they might feel something for someone and they don't know. Do I express it? Do I go? Do I? So that's the fork in the road. But what does the fork in the road card say? Make a decision. Just go with a decision. The longer you stand there, the more it zaps your energy. So just go with it.
Yep. Hey, such change, you know you're good at that. Just going by a whim, you know, if it's exciting, go for it.
Yeah. Hey, Sagittarius, if you guys don't know, who does? Come on.
Okay, well, for Capricorn, I immediately already got one. Okay.
All right, let's see what we got for Capricorn.
Deep knowing. I hope y'all can see.
Oh, I love that card.
Have to adjust it.
Let's see.
Okay, the closer I have it to my face, the more clear y'all can see.
What, the card or your face?
Well, you know, hey, it's whatever you guys decide, you know, whichever one works. No, I'm just kidding.
Right,
yeah, the card looks like it looks better when I have it close to my face. I'm gonna have that adjust.
Oh my God! So this fell out for Capricorn.
What was that? What card is that?
King of Pentacles.
Jeez. Okay, so following your intuition in regards to what you, I guess in regards to work, I know definitely deep knowing is just listening to your higher self, or listening to your instincts, following your, you know, kind of like the moon and the high priestess. Very follow your intuition.
Well, I think so the King of Pentacles has mastery over the Suit of Pentacles, and Pentacles is Earth, and Capricorn is an Earth sign, and so, you know, Capricorns are obviously very ambitious, and we've got Saturn about to hit their sign. So this very much says to me about, you know, that deep knowing is follow your intuition. This is the successful businessman. This is the guy that he knows how to make money. He knows how to, you know, if it's about making money or business or that stability that you want, follow your intuition and you'll get there. Because the King of Pentacles, he's reached mastery.
Yeah, man.
He's reached mastery of that suit. So yeah, and Capricorns, the goats always reach the top of the mountain. Just follow your intuition.
Yep. All right, Aquarius, y'all next.
Let's have that good for Aquarius. Come on. Aquarians have had it so bad. Come on. I know everyone has, but come on. Aquarius.
No. Yeah, they've been crazy. I remember there was like when I first actually did my face reveal and I was going through, I was like, no, this is what's Aquarius. We need to clarify that. Okay. Actually, let me probably adjust my light so that people can see the cards with it. Aquarius.
Sarita, go. I'm trying, honey. I'm trying. She's like, make it good. I'm an Aquarius.
I'm trying.
Oh no! All right, so this fell out.
Oh man, jeez.
I don't know. What did you get?
I got oh gosh, hang on. Let me just turn this a little bit.
Chaos and conflict.
Yeah.
No, but this makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense with what I got.
Two of Pentacles. Oh man.
Yeah. Okay, so there is chaos and conflict around Aquarius, like, you know, but the chaos and conflict card, it talks about out of that coming something that serves us, right? That even though it appears to be chaos and conflict, there is something that serves us about that. So when you have the Two of Pentacles coming up here, this is very much Aquarius. Like, how many Aquarians out there have just like turned their back on, like, you know, I'm so sick of waiting for this, or I'm so sick of feeling upset about this, like I'm just going to go and balance these pentacles. I'm just going to go and juggle these. So there is that kind of energy. Yeah, right. And so this, but you know, even though it's chaos and conflict, turn around and look at it, Aquarius, because it's going to serve you, and you know, you can deal with it. But this is about keeping the balance. This can be business partnerships. What's the other thing with the Two of Pentacles? Business partnerships.
Juggling two relationships. Hey, you know, I gotta go there, y'all. Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
First you go with the love thing, but
yeah, I guess for the relationship part of it, if it is like making decisions between two people, I guess comparing different value, like which person you see has more value and can, like, you know, in your life. I think that is the conflict, right? Figuring out exactly what really works for you. You have to, I think, with the Two of Pentacles the Two of Pentacles in regards to that, it's like, yes, look at your emotions, because that's what's going to help you figure it out the most. It's not just about the physical quality about them, or, you know, it's also about the emotional connection that you have. So you have to be aware of that too.
It's the wisdom of the Oracle, Madonna. It's the one I use in my readings. Wisdom of the Oracle.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So Aquarius.
Okay.
I've got, can I just say, with that Two of Pentacles, with the boats that were coming in the background, I think something's coming in for Aquarius, and it's going to come out of left field, but no one's going to see it coming in. That's my little extra.
Hey, that sounds great.
Right, who's, oh, Pisces.
Yep, Pisces. Is the lighting better? I know I shifted off to the side. Was everybody able to see that?
Sarita, let's get through all 12 and then we'll see how we feel at the end, and might try to pull another one for Aquarius. No favorites, but you know, let's get Pisces done first.
I got Pisces. Okay, Pisces. We see you.
Come on, Pisces. What have we got for Pisces?
We'll see.
Oh, perfect for Pisces.
Let me actually try and tilt this more so you guys can try to see. Is that better? Oh man, sorry y'all. I'm gonna get
my arms hurt upper body yesterday. Ow.
Oh yeah, beast moded it, man. Hey man, hey, this.
Okay.
You're gonna be ripped. Don't worry, you're gonna be ripped.
No. Let's see. Arms hurt. Okay, let's see. Pisces. Let's go.
No worries, Sarita. No worries.
Got for Pisces.
Epic, you writing a book?
Okay, but okay. So what does that one mean? To the sea.
To the sea. Go find. You know, going with the flow. Okay, I think you have to ride the tide right now.
Well, yeah, because look what they got from me.
God, the 8 of Wands.
Yeah.
Ride the tide, y'all, because things about to pick up. Okay, things about to pick up. Things about to get real fast. Okay, and also, I mean, I think honestly, as you guys kind of, you know, I don't want to see. When I see this card, I always think of the yin and yang dynamic, right? I think there has to be, you know, you do stuff, and then you also, you know, kind of receive. You kind of just let go. I think this is a very passive kind of card, and it's not saying to just kind of like let things kind of go fly off the wind. No, but I think it is with a situation as the 8 of Wands picking up speed like that. I think there needs to be some, you know, not necessarily need to be like. It's a best advice for you guys to just kind of go with the flow. See how things are, because things are kind of coming in pretty fast. You can, you know, take advantage of it by just kind of riding the wave, or, you know, just seeing how things are. And things are moving very clearly, as you see the 8 of Wands are. You know, things, they're not, you know, disrupting each other's flow when they're flying down like that. And then you got the arrows of love. So go with the flow of love right now too, okay?
Yeah, but that's the thing. No, that's good. The momentum of the 8 of Wands, it can be overwhelming when you got arrows like that coming in, but it's straightforward. Whatever that communication is, it can be messages. It can be, just remember, Mercury retrograde. So that could also be saying that. It could also be that, you know, you could be getting messages right now. Just take it a little easy, like, you know, go with the flow a little bit. Mercury is going to be retrograde in about 24 hours. So just, you know, be very wary that messages can go, you know, can go awry and stuff at this time.
Have a good night, Christopher. Thanks for stopping by. I'm not ready for my internet to stop working now. I'm not ready. Okay, if it happens, you know.
What happened?
I'm just kidding. No, I said Mercury retrograde. I'm not ready for my internet to stop working. I'm just playing though. That's not a guarantee it's gonna happen, but you know.
Who comes out of her shell? Venus. Yeah, she does. Anyway, I think she was trying to get me to kind of talk more about my stuff. That's why she was very quiet. She's never this quiet. Don't think she's ever this quiet. She's never this quiet.
What you mean? What you mean?
Yeah, see?
Okay, but y'all know, like, if you guys watch my videos, I talk a hell of a lot. So I feel bad, especially this time around. I like Aquarius, this is the longest video. I go on for 40 minutes. That's like, whoa, you know?
All right, so yeah. We're doing Aries, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, what did they get?
We're in the story.
Oh. Aries, what have we got for you, Aries? Let's go, Aries. I love the Aries.
Ooh, wait.
Aries. What have we got for Aries? Oh, Page of Swords. I'm getting a lot of pages.
Ooh. Hey, man.
Oh my God, this is straight up. Can I just say this? I'm straight up getting this. Page of Swords, never-ending story. Aries, someone's kind of checking out their ex's Facebook or Twitter or something.
Mm-hmm.
When it's a never-ending story and we got the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is also about collecting information. Like if we're going to, I'll let you cover that love angle if you want. I'll just go the other way. I'll do the more general. But
okay, sure.
Yeah. What I think we're saying, what seeing here is that the Page of Swords can also be about being brutally honest with yourself, facing the truth, getting new information, right? And never-ending story is that, you know, if this story doesn't end, it's time to end it. Like, you know, whatever it is, if it just seems to keep lingering on. And I don't mean if it's a relationship you want, great. But I mean one of those where it's like, this never ends. And it's time to like do something new. Be brutally honest with yourself with that Page of Swords. And go forward from there. But go on, what did you want to say?
As far as the love aspect goes, yes, so someone definitely could be checking out the ex's Facebook, you know, Twitter. They could be doing some research because, I mean, I think honestly, with the Page of Swords stuff, with this card here, the never-ending story, it's talking about breaking a pattern, and I think one of those things is it could be about you know, communicating your truth, you know, making clear your, you know, where you stand. And honestly, Aries, I know you don't have a problem. You know, it's not hard to make stuff clear to you guys, but I guess it's the amount of attention to, I guess, to this person that you have to be, or to the situation that you have, I guess, to it. If it's something that's the same pattern, what can you do or convey clear, like, in a different way? It's still very clear. I think that's the kind of all I can kind of give for that, because you pretty much hit the hammer on the head with the general one.
Taurus.
Yeah. The shift left. Sorry, the shift can't save you, so your ass gonna get left. Oh my gosh. What you talking about? Okay.
All right, let's see. Taurus.
Yeah, let's see.
All I can tell you is with poor Taurus. I've done readings for so many Taurus people. Bless them.
Ooh, okay. They got the same card as Pisces. Okay.
Taurus, let's go. What have we got for Taurus? Taurus.
Hey man, I'm in the same boat, man. I love to give people advice about their love lives. One of the things that's hard is managing your own. You know, I'm gonna tell you that much. And honestly, I think because I'm in the same bracket as you, Dachi. And welcome aboard, by the way.
Oh my God, they got the same as. Who got this? The first Sagittarius. No. Yeah.
Capricorn. Yeah.
That's Sagittarius.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go with the flow, and okay. All right. But really fast, I want to respond to Dachi's thing.
Sure, go for it.
With this period in our love lives, you know, we're always gonna, like, we might ever hit patches in our relationship or our love lives where it's kind of like, oh, you know, it's just not that great. And even in relationships, we get that way. but it's always about assessing why it's crappy. It's always assessing why, like, is what V was talking about earlier today about, you know, figuring out like triggers, for instance. And she talked a lot about that, and an ending of, like, I think the was it the September videos I think you were talking about, you know, triggers and things like that. But like, you would have to figure out why our love lives are like that. And I think when we have that space to do that, it really helps us and what we need to change in our love lives. Oh, sorry, but go ahead now. I'm gonna start interrupting.
So, what did they got 8 of Wands with? Pisces got 8 of Wands with the C card,
Yeah.
and so that was, I think. But no, what did Sagittarius get as their card?
I thought it was Page of Cups.
Oh, fork in the road. So okay, so where
yeah.
Sagittarius had to make a decision about about this offer of love or feeling. Taurus, you're being told to go with it. I think you guys like go with the flow. You know, there's no decisions to be made here. You kind of know. You know what you want.
Yeah.
You know how you feel. Let's just go with it.
Yep. Let that love carry you all the way across the ocean waters. Ride that horizon, okay? Am I right? Am I right, family? All right, Gemini, let's go ahead with this.
All right, let's go. Gemini. It's taking forever. It's not clicking. Yeah. Let's go, Gemini. Gemini, come on. It's a sister air sign.
I know. Okay. Ooh.
What did they
Orphaned, y'all. Orphaned. The Hangman and Orphaned.
Okay.
So,
all right, you go with yours first. Go.
Okay, so orphaned, finding the kind of the individual, like, in you, and it's a lot having. Okay, currently, I think you're trying to figure out exactly where you belong. I think where you belong, or what you really where you fit in the world. I think that's where it's kind of going as far as that goes. And in regards to your love life, I think you're having there could be a situation where you guys are kind of stuck, not really sure where what works for you in your love life, what works for you, the way you communicate with with your partner. So I think right now it's just you're having to look within, big time. Look within, figure out exactly what your authenticity is, and what makes you special, what makes you unique, what is required of you, and like what do you feel like you need in a relationship right now. And that's what's going to help you get to that's what's going to be the that spark, that insight that you're looking for with the Hangman there. You're going to be able to figure out exactly how you can progress from feeling like having trouble like belonging in your partnership to making steps to making it work for you.
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever pulled the Orphaned card. It was actually for an Aquarius reading, I think earlier this year. And it was so difficult not to start crying because I was feeling that energy so much. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing a reading for Aquarius, and this is so true. But the thing with Orphaned, it's like you don't have to fit in with everyone. You will find your people that you fit in with, that, you can feel alone, you can feel abandoned. But there are people out there, and even if you don't have people, I think the meaning of that says the divine is always with you, right?
Yeah.
That spirit is always with you. And this is what the Hangman says. The Hangman is about surrender. You surrender to your situation. And the only way you will have a change of perspective is by surrendering. If you keep kind of striving forward or trying to push where you can't push, or trying to fit in with people that you don't fit in with. Like, that's another thing with the orphan thing. You can feel orphaned in a room full of people. If you don't fit in with them and they don't accept you, you can still feel orphaned. They don't get you. So this is about surrendering to that change of perspective. Who have we got left?
We have
Cancer. Don't forget Cancer. That was Gemini, right?
Yeah, it's Cancer yet. Yeah, let's see what's going on with them.
Oh God, I had about 2 cards fell out, but I'm not gonna.
I had like 4 come up.
These are 3 actually. There were 3 that I don't accept them. They were face down. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Let's get it, Cancer. All right.
Poised. I love
Poised,
that.
y'all. Somebody is ready. Somebody's ready. The whole year. Actually, not the whole year. Actually, since September, y'all were like, from what I was pulling, y'all were ready for a committed relationship. So, you know, at least do something long term.
Sorry, Cancer. 1 second. Let's go, Cancer. Oh, there we go. 1 fell out. Okay. Cancer got 5 of Wands.
Oh, 5 of Wands.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, in the combination with Poised, it's almost like there's been competition. There might have been conflict. I don't feel it's internal conflict. I think it's more like people getting involved in your business, or you having to compete with people at work, or for whatever that conflict's been. Poised is like, get ready to go, right? They get ready to go. Yeah. So
yeah, man. What is there? For the love aspect of it, definitely y'all are ready to tackle on this love life. Okay, y'all are ready. Okay, no matter what I think you guys are facing a bit of conflict right now, obviously, right? Because for a while in my readings, I've seen you guys are just having like a difficult time finding people that will stay, or like that will show commitment in the relationship, or like commitment as in like wanting to put the effort in, not so that they like.
Well, honey, that will happen when you have Pluto in your 7th house, which is Pluto's in Capricorn, so that's the 7th house for Cancer.
Yeah.
And that's things like that happen.
Yeah, man. So yeah, absolutely. And so I think right now you guys are ready. You guys feel like you guys are ready. That passion is there, obviously, with the 5 of Wands. And you're definitely dealing with other people right now, but you have your own wand in that card, right? I always see that there's so many people, there's got to be one of those people that are you. And you are just as passionate and ready to take on what you want. You're ready to make it clear. I think right now this is a time of change, right? So you're going to have to kind of, not necessarily right away, but kind of make your line in the sand. Do whatever you need to do in regards to overcoming the challenge that's coming up right now. But you're ready for it. You guys got this. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it did. All right. What are we doing? Leos. Lovely Leos.
Ooh, okay. TikTok is what they got.
Oh no, don't tell them that.
I know, right? They'll use everything. It'll use every bit of it.
Leo. Let's go. What we got for Leo? The High Priestess.
Ooh. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'll let you go first.
Well, the whole thing. No, that's cool. You're like, you go first. The whole thing with TikTok is that TikTok says that the past, present, future, that whole dynamic, the whole kind of linear aspect of time doesn't exist. You have all the time in the world, but the TikTok card can be when we feel the pressure of needing to do something. And you can understand that they have the North Node in their sign. That's going to do that to them. But with the High Priestess coming up, with this is about you have the knowledge. And this is timeless, right? She has the knowledge of the occult. All secrets are hers. The intuition is always there. And it's like, Leo, you have a gut feeling about something, go with it. And I think you don't have to push, or you don't have to wait. Like, knowing, first of all, what it is that you want, that's the most important aspect. Don't feel limited by time, I think, is what TikTok is saying with the High Priestess. Like, your knowledge or your gut feeling about this, that's what you need to follow. And I think your own intuition will guide you and lead you to where it is that you need to be.
Yeah, man. I think, I guess in regards to romantic life, one thing I can definitely say with TikTok and the High Priestess is that, love is timeless. Love doesn't have a time limit. I think, honestly, love carries out through generations to millennia. Love is infinite. Okay. So if you have a gut feeling about somebody, or if you have you have an inkling to do something, follow your intuition, especially at this time. You don't ever have to, like she said, don't feel pressured about doing anything you don't want to do. It'll happen in due time. Just if you follow your intuition, it'll happen when you're ready to.
Virgo.
Let's go.
Oh my God, like I know so many Virgos, and I have a Virgo moon too, so I know this, but Virgos, they've been getting battered. The poor Virgos have been getting battered.
Yes.
What did they get?
Round and round.
Yeah, I think there's a few Virgos that I know that would go with that. Let's see, Virgo. Yep, it's always work. 8 of Pentacles.
Wow. Okay. So there's a lot of progress. Like I think that in regards to the love life, I think there's a lot of work and dedication that's going to be that's needed in this time right now. I think there's a sequence in your life that's kind of happened again. One that maybe they don't have to be exactly the same, guys. They can be like, they can be very similar situations, but a totally different circumstance, right? So I think one thing the reason why it's coming back is for you to look at something contemplative and focused efforts, right? Because there's something about this situation that's coming up again that's requiring you guys to really learn something and really kind of delve deep into this. Because like with the 8 of Pentacles, you're working hard. You're definitely like focused and like tunnel visioning your work, and it's progress, right? It's slow progress, yes, but you're still making the effort. You're still making that that move to really focus on what it is that you're doing, really refining your technique. So if it could be in regards to your values, in your relationship. This could be in regards to communication, even though I know that Pentacles, they have nothing to do with communication. It just different spots, whatever requires work. It's coming up again because it's required. It's asking you guys to really look at it this time. Really look at it and see what you guys need to do. If you can go ahead now.
I also think for a lot of Virgos, come on, they've had Saturn squaring this, squaring them for 3 years now almost. And I know a lot of Virgos, they're doing this. They're putting in the focused effort. They're really working really hard. This is what they don't mind doing. They're doing it. They're diligent, but they're not. It's like they keep going round and round. They're stuck at the 8. And this is the apprenticeship card. Like you work to gain mastery, right?
Yeah.
But they're like, where's my 9 of Pentacles? Where's my 10 of Pentacles? I keep getting stuck at the 8. Don't worry, Virgos, it's coming. Saturn won't stay in Sagittarius forever. Be gone in a number of weeks. So yeah, things will change. But yeah, I think this is what it is, round and round. Like they keep coming back around to the same spot. Just feel like from a lot of Virgos that I've spoken to, that's kind of like the sentiment. Bless them.
All right, Libras.
Is someone talking about my fro or your fro? Because I don't actually have a fro. I know it looks like one.
Oh, love your fro. Oh, it really is just my hair's just poofy, guys.
My hair's just
thank
curly.
you.
So I don't know.
Thank you.
I wish I had a
bag
fro.
in the band.
You know how much I love fros, right? Yeah, I'm a back
yes, girl.
Maybe I should do that. I want a big fro. Yeah.
Let me just. Whichever one's going to come out again.
Libra. Is this Libra now, right?
Yeah, Libra. Yeah, I got Treasure Island.
Oh, nice.
All right. Yeah, man.
Libra, what we got? The Emperor.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty big. Because isn't the Treasure Island about manifestation or kind of like?
Can I take this? Can I take this?
Yes, definitely. Please. I have a hard time explaining that.
No, well, Treasure Island. It's when we are given the map, right? We're given the map. It's like all of a sudden now we know where to go look. Like I think a lot of Librans have started to figure out what is going to make them happy, what it is that they want, what is that treasure that they're looking for. And Treasure Island says that you've got the map now, but it's about opportunities coming our way. It's opportunities coming our way, and not to miss those. That, you know, there might be things that we're looking for, and they might come in a way that we don't realize, and that's actually the treasure. It's looking for the treasure there and making the most out of that opportunity. And that's the Emperor, right? Because the Emperor takes control. If you think about it, the card that comes before the Emperor in the Major Arcana is the Empress. And the Empress, she can manifest anything, and she gives birth to so much. And it's the Emperor coming in who actually takes charge and brings order to all of that. She just gives birth to it. She just sits there saying, okay, we'll have this and we'll have this. And he's the one that says, okay, well, we're going to do this now. We're going to do that. So I think Libra is telling you, take charge and make the most of the opportunities that come your way.
Yeah, man. I think that goes for all of it across the board, romantic and not, you know, because like, yeah, if you want something, go ahead and take it.
Okay, sorry, I was only joking. I didn't mean to offend anyone with the fro thing.
I don't think there's nothing offensive. Honestly, I don't think it's offensive at all. If you want a fro, go ahead and get it, girl. Okay, I got your back.
Well, I like my curly hair, so I think I have. Well, someone thought I had a fro anyway, so I don't know. It's just hair, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, so what we read? Scorpio.
Yes.
Oh wow. Let's see what's going on with you, Scorpio. Let's see what's going on with you. Oh, deep knowing then. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, Karen. Yeah, we did Aquarius. What did Aquarius get?
But you can watch this. It will come. But like you can, when it's up, they can watch it again.
Yeah, it's gonna be uploaded.
So what are we? Scorpio. Scorpio.
Yep. They got deep knowing as well. Well, okay, Scorpio. I mean, we see you.
And a shout out to, can we do a shout out to Moonlight Scorpio? She's actually not been well. I haven't had a chance to message her, but I saw that I had a quick, been really busy the last 2 days, but she hasn't been well. So if anyone knows Moonlight Scorpio, go wish her love and hugs and stuff, because she's had some health stuff that came up.
Yeah, I hope she gets better.
Yeah, bless her. So let's see. What we doing? Scorpio. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, deep knowing.
Deep knowing looks like it should be Scorpio's card. They always have a deep knowing.
Right?
Yeah, Scorpio. Six of Pentacles.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. So it's a deep knowing, again, intuition. But this is, I think, about some situation that requires balance, requires give and take. The thing with the whole Six of Pentacles thing is, it's called a charity card sometimes, and I don't like that when it's said about this card. I don't like that at all, because it looks like this guy is doing these guys a favor, right? Mm-hmm. He's giving something away, but he isn't. He's got the opportunity to do something good because they are allowing him to do that something good. He's got surplus, so he gives it away. There should be no pride involved, and they don't feel less because he gives them. He doesn't feel proud and stuff. It's equal. It's an equal kind of giving and taking here. And it feels like Scorpio has some intuition about a situation, which either requires this kind of balanced give and take. Or do you know what I mean? Like this doesn't look balanced, but it feels like Scorpio knows that it actually is balanced. That on the surface, I'm getting this sense of like, you know, like with a husband, let's not be sexist. So the wife goes to work and the husband stays at home and looks after the kids and he cooks dinner. But like people might say, oh my God, that's like very, very unequal. But they're not. They're both making their life work. There is balance, give and take there. They both get what they want out of that relationship. She never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and he never wanted to be a corporate, like, you know, worker. And it feels like there's something to do with the intuition part of that. Sorry, I took that in a really strange angle. Do you want to go back to love?
As far as love goes with this, I think so deep knowing, obviously, when it comes up, right, it's talking about following your intuition. So I think there is something that spiritually needs to be connected, or something spiritually balanced between you and possibly your partner, if you guys have one. If you guys are single, that for a lot of you guys, there needs to be I think what is I'm sorry, but my stuttering. I think there has to be a balance for you guys in your your spiritual environment. I think right now maybe you're trying to assess that. You're trying to look for what what gives you that stability, or just trying to figure out what really kind of balances you guys out intuitively. And I think once that kind of once you guys get that going, or if you guys are in the process of doing that, once it kind of clicks for you, whatever it clicks in the right balance for you, whether it be taking time off, or communicating with your partner, taking time with your partner, maybe even taking a break sometimes if they're just too overwhelming, whatever you guys need in your spiritual aspect of yourself, I think you should give that, or should at least, give that, yeah, like I was saying, give it to, give that time to yourself to figure out what you need to have balanced. I hope that makes sense, because it was coming to me when I saw the card, but it takes me a second.
Sorry,
Yeah,
and then I rambled on and on and on, and you forgot about it. Sorry.
Definitely interesting combo, that's for sure. No, it's definitely interesting combo. So yeah.
So anyway, everyone here who's in chat, post what your sun sign is. Post what your sun sign is, and I'll pull an extra tarot card for those signs.
Okay. Should I do the same?
If you want to, that's.
Or do you?
Oh, we'll just do one, because it's gonna go on for too long. Because I promised Sarita that I'd pull an extra one for Aquarius, and it seems bad to just pull one for Aquarius, so we'll go one extra. Leo first. Okay, Kaleidoscope, let's go. Keep a track.
Aquarius.
Okay, hang on. Let's go Leo. Let's go Leo first. Let's give us an extra one.
You got two Aquariuses in the house. Okay.
But they're only getting one card, though. It's just for the energy.
Okay.
All right, Leo. Leo, love it. Ace of Cups.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so new beginnings in love, spiritual growth, healing. This to me is emotional growth. It's everything wonderful. It's one of those beautiful cards. And I think more than anything, it's that hope, right? Of the new cycle beginning, a new emotional cycle beginning.
Wow. Good. Awesome, Leo. Let's go.
I know, right? You love it when it happens for Leos. Yeah. Okay, Aquarius, come on. Let's do better than the Two of Pentacles this time. Okay, come on, Aquarius. Aquarius, let's go. What have we got for Aquarius? I'm pulling an extra one. It's not fair. Ooh. Why do Aquarius keep getting bad ones?
I'm pulling the Oracle. No way. No, man.
Aquarius. Hang on, let's do two. I'll read them in tandem with each other. Okay, all right. So here, this is what we got for Aquarius. So the Two of Swords, yes, this can be conflict, this can be argument, this can be a decision, but it's a decision that you don't want to make just yet. It's kind of the same as, think about it, it's similar to the Two of Pentacles that came up before, because the Two of Pentacles is you're juggling, trying to keep the balance. I think it's a decision that's going to need to be made about an earth sign. So a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. I don't usually go with that, though. Or it could just be about your work life. What makes you feel grounded, Aquarius? It's time to make a decision about what makes you feel grounded. Because the Queen of Pentacles is very dependable, very hardworking. She knows what she wants and she knows how to get it. For some of you, it's about going to get what you want. Like, what are you not going for? What is it that you want? So, yeah.
And I pulled another Oracle card for you guys. You guys got Observer. So
that's not fair now. You're going to have to put one for Leo as well.
Yeah, I'll do it for Leo. Yeah, so Observer is, I like this card. It's like talking about taking a step back, but watching your surroundings. Obviously, with the Two of Swords coming up there, that definitely talks about, assessing the situation and, making hard decisions. Watch, be mindful. And not to tell you all what to do, of course, this is like, it's suggesting that maybe if you guys, maybe looking around and kind of like, I guess, assessing things from a objective point of view, which you guys are really good at, it'll make the decision a lot easier for you. Hold on a second, Leo. I'm gonna pull for you, okay? Oh, okay. Oh, snap. All right. Well, there's another. Oh, it's on my lap. Well, okay, Leo. Immediately, okay. Milk and honey. Okay, you guys had the Ace of Cups, and then you had now you guys have milk and honey. That is talking about a taste of prosperity here. Okay, so I think you guys, I think the situation that you guys are getting going into is definitely one that's it's it's gonna feel good. It's gonna be going to really it's gonna I don't know how else to describe it. It's gonna be like really sweet. It's gonna feel
Enjoying.
good energetically.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about enjoying the land of milk and honey. That's the whole thing of it, right? It's a time of abundance.
Yeah.
Sarita, yes. It's so strange that the only kind of energies that are left in the chat are Leo and Aquarius.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nodes, right?
But yeah, guys. Yeah, this is a great time for you guys. Yeah, time of abundance and really feeling good in and kind of like I guess enjoying like the energy that you guys are being surrounded with right now. So awesome, awesome. Well, I don't know about you, but I think we had I think I had a great time. I mean, I know I had a great time. How did you guys enjoy yourself? Aquarian Insight, did you enjoy
I
yourself?
loved it. Thank you so much for having me. And I can't believe I stayed on so long. I wasn't expecting this. It was so much fun. And I love that we had so many people come in and ask questions and interact with us. That was absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much. But it's like 11 now in the
Yeah.
UK. So
Yeah. So thank you so much, y'all, for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. If you guys haven't already, please follow Aquarian Insight. She's awesome tarot reader, and man, she's my mentor. So I love her, best friend as well. So give her a shout out, not just for that, but just because she's an awesome tarot card reader. Okay, but also, guys, follow her follow me on social media. Follow her on social media. We post stuff a lot all the time. So all right. We're gonna wrap this up here, y'all. Love, beauty, and fairness. All right. May love prevail, y'all. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.